Welcome to ShadowMeTarot. I am obsessed with the Garbage Pail Kids Tarot, the new deck that they just came out with. I absolutely love it. It totally resonates with me. The pictures sometimes are just disgusting, but I get them. I totally get them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually read the book because the book is impressive. I'm actually super impressed with this. And it has some, it just has some really cool accuracies and overlaps from other disciplines that I'm recognizing as well too. So this is super cool, super amazing deck, and I am gonna read it to you because this is the easiest way for me to learn my deck sometimes as well. So I love this one. I'm gonna go over the different symbolism that I see in each one, and please call out in the comments below any symbolism that you see as well. Thank you so much for watching. All right, let's get to it. We're going to start with reading the introduction of the book, and that will get us it's only like 12 pages, 11 pages. Introduction. Welcome to the Garbage Pail Kids, the official tarot deck and guidebook. Roll up your sleeves and get ready to jump into the world of tarot reading with your favorite icky, sticky rascals, reimagined as traditional tarot illustrations. First introduced in 1985, the Garbage Pail Kids have cemented their rascally reputation as staples in the public consciousness. The cards have innovative, dynamic illustrations featuring crude, grody, whimsical characters with iconically punny names like Armpit Brit and Julius Sneezer. Their sickening, silly, subversive humor has inspired generations to defy convention and celebrate all the weird, wonderful things that make each of us unique. Fans have been asking for a Garbage Pail Kids tarot deck for ages, and it's finally here. Each tarot card represents a different situation, predicament, or personality type. The vast library of unique Garbage Pail Kids characters and all the trashy, tacky, smelly traits that make them distinct naturally lend themselves to dynamic themes of traditional tarot cards. For instance, Brainy Janie's love of learning translates well to the theme of the Hierophant card, which represents knowledge and learning. Similarly, Sneezy Alien Al's character is perfectly suited to the Nine of Wands card, which symbolizes perseverance in the face of misfortune. Perfect for Garbage Pail Kid newcomers and nostalgic fans alike, this deck also features 10 brand new, never before seen characters created exclusively for this deck, such as Beachy Brian, Hopeful Hedda, and Hippie Harriet. Whether you're new to tarot reading or experienced reader, the fun, foul, and feisty Garbage Pail Kids are here to help you explore your past, present, and future in the classic tradition of tarot with a yucky, mucky twist. Get ready to blast off on an out-of-this-world adventure with Masterpiece Eunice. Discover your strengths with Muscular Molly and gain momentum with Velocity Victor. Although many people think of tarot reading as a mystical form of divination used only to predict the future, its uses actually go far beyond that. It can be a powerful tool for personal growth, yes it can, and self-reflection, yes it can. Tarot reading can offer insight into your friendships, relationships, choices, and troubles. It can help you sort out tricky, sticky situations and difficult decisions by giving clarity and insight into your true feelings and motivations. Even though some people do use tarot reading to reveal a possible future, it's important to remember that nothing is set in stone. As Twist of Fate Kate knows all too well, luck and circumstances can change in an instant. Tarot is best for helping you make more mindful choices by giving situational warnings, advice, and food for thought. The Garbage Pail Kids Tarot deck is filled with your favorite over-the-top, odious outcasts illustrated in ways that are reminiscent of traditional tarot cards. The guidebook provides interpretations for both upright and reversed orientations of each card. The final chapter includes tarot spreads to help you get started on your tarot reading journey. Now it's time to follow the messy misfits as they head off on a tarot reading adventure. Have fun and watch where you step when you run into Luke Puke. Understanding your tarot deck. Learning to read tarot can seem intimidating at first, but it's pretty easy after you get the hang of it. There are 78 tarot cards in a deck, and each one has a different meaning depending on whether it's drawn upright or reversed. The first 22 cards are called the Major Arcana. They represent important themes and major life lessons with lasting impacts and effects. Numbered 0 through 21, they chronologically tell the story of the Fool, the first card in the Major Arcana, a character who takes on an exciting journey through the lessons and themes of the Major Arcana to ultimately achieve personal success and fulfillment. In this Garbage Pail Kids Tarot deck, one of the earliest, most iconic characters, Rob Slob, takes the Fool's traditional place as the card number 0. The rest of the tarot cards in the deck are called the Minor Arcana. They represent everyday situations and themes and have short-term effects. These 56 Minor Arcana cards are sorted into 4 suits: Cups, Wands, Swords, and Coins. The suit of Cups represents emotional, personal connections with family or friends and relationships. It corresponds to the element of water. The suit of Wands is associated with ideas, creative inspiration, and ambition. It corresponds to the element of fire. The suit of Swords refers to the mind, intellect, power, and personal beliefs. It corresponds to the element of air. The suit of Coins, traditionally called Pentacles, is associated with aspects of the material world and our relationship to it, such as finances, careers, property, ego, and the home. It corresponds to the element of earth. Each of these suits contains 4 court cards: the Page, Knight, King, Queen, and King. Page, Knight, King, Queen, King, and King. Page, Knight, Queen, King. There we go. They symbolize personality types, behavior patterns, and sometimes actual people in your life. The remaining cards are numbered Ace to 10. Our first card here is the Fool, Rob Slob. Upright, just as Rob Slob steps out in search of muddier pastures, you two are beginning a journey of your own. Whether you're on a quest for a new job, a change of scenery, or find the grossest mud pit in the world, the Fool card indicates that this will be a long, life-changing adventure. In the reversed, well, let's talk about the upright first. So in the upright, I'd like to compare decks with the original Rider Waite, and I think every Fool deck, or every Fool card, every 0 card, every 1 card even sometimes, is a new beginning, right? So elements, he's got his loyal companion over here. He's got his loyal companion here. He's got this flower, and it, okay, I do have some opinions about this deck. Okay, so right here, this flower, traditionally, it kind of represents the search of your other half. So, because our purpose in life is to, like, procreate, make kids, and build a life that way, whatever. That's part of the life journey. That's part of the life path. So anyways, this is a masculine figure. This represents his female counterpart. He's looking to grow that, so to speak, whether it be in the form of a person or just becoming his whole self. The mountains in the background represent the life path, the journey. The precipice here, and him kind of leaping off into nowhere, is having blind faith in the unknown. So all this, like, new beginning. Anyway, so we've got all this very, very similar. Here we've got his loyal dog grabbing hold of him, and he is already stepping off, where in here he is not just stepping off. I want to notate that the colors are similar. This is a happiness card traditionally, so the yellow is very traditional in that respect. The orange refers to sacral kind of sexual energy, and I do feel a lot of sexual energy in this Fool card. Like, that flower is so big and ornate that I feel like he is just he's gonna go find him a wife. He's gonna go find him lots of wives, maybe. Like, he's I don't know. He looks like a walking, talking STD to me, if you ask me. But it has all the elements of the Rider Waite Fool card. So in the reverse, typically the Fool card means recklessness, naivety, stuff like that. So let's see what here. Okay, so this way is kind of a new beginning, new life adventure, life-changing adventure. And in the reverse, the Fool warns you to look before you leap. Rob Slob is too busy daydreaming about mucking around in gross, sloppy mud, and his wandering mind is about to lead him right off a cliff. Stay excited about all the possibilities in your future, but make sure you don't get swept away with them. Watch where you're going to avoid messy missteps. So I almost feel like the upright meaning, I almost feel like in this card, the upright meaning does definitely take on some of the reversed, the image takes on some of the reversed attributes of the card. Recklessness, right? Stepping off without looking. He hasn't looked down yet. We don't even know if he's going to look down yet, like on this card, right? He's looking up. He's breathing in the air. The dog could be saying, stop, stop, don't go, we're not ready, or don't go, there's a thing, whatever it is. But he is not leaping off. He is ready to just tumble. Yeah, so I guess in the reverse it's saying look before you leap. But I also feel like that if this came up for me in a love reading, I would be like, you're going to find your love. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. He is kind of gross though, and he definitely was like, he's gross. He's just gross. All right, now we've got the Magician, Mad Max. All right, that's a garbage kid for you though, right? They're all kind of gross. Okay, so we've got the Magician here. Elements of the traditional Rider Waite. The yellow background, happiness. He's actually standing on a star, but he's got more colors that I would associate with kind of like the ether. So he does have his tools here, right? He's got his wands, he's got his swords, he's got his cups up here. He's got his coin, but he's got infinite imagination here. I almost feel like with the snake around here too, which I never noticed before, there is a snake on the Magician's belt. And I'm going to have to do some research as to what the origin is. I've never noticed that. Ever, ever, ever. I've never ever noticed that, but there is a snake eating his own tails around his waist, and I've never noticed that, and I'm going to have to find and research the meaning of that snake, because that's going to that is lingering with me. Okay, so I did have to look this up for myself, for everybody, right? And the snake is another phallic symbol. In ancient Egypt, the cobra symbolized divine wisdom, while in Oceania, the snake is a creator figure connected to pregnancy. Its lidless stare connects to all-seeing wisdom, suggesting the magician refuses to look away from uncomfortable truths and enters the creative arena with eyes wide open. The snake eating itself speaks to the power of reinvention. At any time, with will and intention, we can shed our skin and dawn or grow a new one. All right, so that's very interesting to me because it's something I've never noticed before. So let's go ahead and read the definition of the card. Upright, the magician represents someone as wildly inventive as the kooky scientist Mad Max of inspiration. If inspiration strikes you, act on it. You have the creativity and excitement needed to concoct your wildest dreams. Don't sell yourself short. The impossible may just end up being possible after all, if you have the courage to try. In the reverse, the magician, what I traditionally know the magician to be in the reverse is a manipulator, right? If reversed, the magician shows that while you're full of zany creative ideas, you haven't gotten all your beakers in a row quite yet. You're still in the planning process. Prepare your formulas, crunch the numbers, and perform all the necessary calculations to make sure your harebrained schemes are set up for success. So in this deck, they're almost, so far she's only gone with the exact opposite, and sometimes that is the meaning of the card in the reverse. So for this one, the magician, and the upright is anything is possible, and in the reverse it kind of is like you don't have everything that you need. So here you have everything that you need in order to create what you desire. In the reverse, you're ill prepared. Is kind of how I'm interpreting this. Some people, for the Magician, this can mean like master manifesting, right? You're manifesting the life that you think about, dream about, you're manifesting it, right? In the reverse, it can mean manipulation, but not in this deck. This deck, it depends. You know, you can use the interpretations from this book, the book here, and you can transpose them and use them for this card. So oftentimes it's the definition that resonates with you the most that is going to stick with you the longest and forever, until you get, you know, other kind of combinations and more experience with the cards, before it will kind of take on other meanings, and other depths of similar meanings. So anyways, so that is the Magician. So let's move on to the High Priestess. And we're going to go ahead and kind of look at some of the similarities, which I don't see any. I do not see any similarities. The Moon. That's it. She's got a moon on her other moon. It's interesting. Definitely interesting. I'm trying to look at all right, so she's got a lot of eyes, so she's all seeing, right? What else have we got there? She's out of this world, which means she's not in the physical. She's got red hair, braided in 3 different ponytails, 3 different feet. So I feel like it's multi-dimensional in the universe, so multiverse, right? Universal knowledge, kind of. She's holding the Torah in the right hand, just like in the Rider Waite deck. What else? What else? See the crescent moon. I'm trying to look for some yin and yang stuff. And I'm not seeing any of it, but the 3s, three fingers. Oh, this one has 4 fingers. 3 fingers, 3 fingers, 4 fingers, I guess. 3 feet. All right, let's see what it says here. The High Priestess is Spacey Stacy. Upright, the High Priestess is an intuitive figure, as mysterious as out of this world. Spacey Stacy. This card represents instincts and the subconscious. This card advises you to listen to your gut feelings, no matter how weird or strange they may be, because your subconscious knows more than you think it does. In the reverse, the High Priestess indicates you're being caught up in the hustle and bustle, that it's time to stop and reconnect with yourself. Let yourself daydream, whether that means imagining multi-eyed aliens and intergalactic space battles, or envisioning the life that you want for yourself in the future. Allow your mind to disconnect from the nitty-gritty of life and wander a bit. It will do you a world of good. All right, moving on to the Empress. Okay, so the Empress here, she is hippie Harriet. She's kind of got like snot everywhere. She's got the key to something. But she's got the female Empress symbol there, so I'm going to call that out. She's got lots of flowers all around her. That's typically kind of the abundance that you see around Empress. She's got flowers growing out of her head, similar to the crown of flowers that she has on her head here. But she just looks like the top of a dandelion to me. Let's see what else have we got here. I see yellows, which is a happiness color. I see the red from, it looks like the chair she's sitting on, the fabric underneath her. In her dress. She has a snotty scepter. Just like but the Empress has a scepter as well. So yeah. All right, so the Empress. Hippie Harriet. Upright, the Empress invites you to stop and smell the flowers. Advice: that flower child Hippie Harriet is very willing to take. The Empress represents beauty, nature, and nurturing. Take this tarot card as a sign to cultivate and appreciate the beauty around you. Get in touch with your softer side by making a daisy crown, planting some groovy flowers, or creating far out works of art inspired by nature. In the reverse, so in the upright, just very simply, I've always defined the Empress as like motherly, and nurturing, and in the reverse, I've always interpreted it as like overbearing. Those are kind of like the negative attribute of the Empress. But let's see what this, because there's so many different layers and depths to the meaning. Let's see how this author, Minerva Siegel, how she interprets it. Although the Empress upright asks you to notice the beauty all around you, when the card is reversed, it asks you to notice the beauty within you. Ooh. This may sound very hippy-dippy, but this card shows that you've been busy focusing on other people and external factors. It's time to bring your attention back to yourself and turn the nurturing energy of the Empress inward to find the sort of joy and inner peace that far-out Hippie Harriet radiates. Confidence with positive affirmations. You got it going on. Wow. That's really cool. So I feel like this deck is taking up an inner self-help kind of journey instead of like interpreting it as the attributes of a person. And I've been reading a lot of shadow decks, which is why I think those two one-word definitions that come up for me came up for me. So, but yeah, being more nurturing self, this one be outwardly nurturing, this one be inwardly nurturing, I guess, is how what I would take away to layer the definition of this card for myself. All right, cool. Now we move on to the Emperor. And I guess she's a brand new character. Just going to point it out that Miss Hippie Harriet, this is Hippie Harriet, she's brand new to the Garbage Pail Kids lineup. She's a brand new character. And this is Atomic Atom or something like Atom Bomb. Atom Bomb is who this is. The Emperor. And I've always thought of solid foundation. That's what I think of when I think of the Emperor. I automatically think of solid foundation. Masculine energy, father, king of all kings. Okay, so in the upright, the Emperor represents a powerful patriarch, much like Atom Bomb. As he sits on his throne with the mushroom cloud for a crown, he is just as capable of causing calamity as he is of creating peace. This tarot card advises you to take your responsibilities seriously and to think through decisions carefully. Rash decisions can have explosive consequences. So when I'm reading, I really like this deck. So when I'm reading this deck, I really like to take the images into consideration, right? So if this for me is like a solid foundation, and responsibility and father figure, right? Like this is authority, right? Well, when I look at this, I'm like, he is the authority because he's got ideas that are going to blow your mind. That's totally how I look at this. I love this deck of cards. I just love it. I think it's brilliant. So I just feel like you've got a solid foundation. Like it would blow your mind. Like I would use the terms blow your mind in reading this deck. In the reverse for the Emperor, for me, like I always kind of think of this as an abusive power, right? It's just the opposite of being like a father figure, probably more like a narcissist. It's all about them. They're overbearing and manipulative and abusive, just abusive, right? We're here. I'm like, this guy's full of shit, right? He's just blowing smoke up his own ass. That's totally what I would think of if I found the Emperor upside down. But let's see what the book says. The book says, in the reverse, The inverse of this card shows that you're feeling burdened and trapped by your responsibilities through your ego. Though you're eager for change, don't detonate everything you've worked so hard to create just yet. This may be a passing feeling. Plan a vacation, to take a break from your routines and duties. A break will have you feeling rested and ready to resume your role. So I almost feel like this is like when you're kind of getting I guess my initial feeling from this definition and looking at this card, because I try very hard to layer these beautiful cards and artwork onto the meanings onto the Rider Waite, because it just gives me a more rounded way of reading cards. But I feel like I would feel this Emperor, rather than being abusive like what the Rider Waite like extreme definitions kind of are, I would think he's irritated and a momentary thing, and because this is a personal journey and a personal journey kind of approach to this deck, I would say that I was feeling irritated if this came up in a reading that I was doing for myself. And it says that in the inverse, this card shows that you're feeling burdened and trapped by your responsibilities. Though you're eager for change, don't detonate everything you worked so hard just to create just yet. This may be a passing feeling. So it's like, step away, take a break. You're irritated. This is you. Let's take that one. All right. So moving on to the Hierophant, we have Brainy Janie. And the Hierophant for me, I always think of, I think of it in terms of faith, universities. I think of it in terms of institutions. Yeah, so it can be, higher knowledge, higher knowing, higher learning, but also like institutions, corporations, government, church, universities. So just kind of like things that almost like social norms, right? We all go to school. We all have to go get our driver's license at the DMV. We all have know somebody who works for the government. So that's kind of like institutions, things that are a part of everybody's lives, but that are societal and outside of ourselves, kind of how I think of that. Okay, so the Hierophant, Brainy Janie. So upright, the Hierophant is a wise authority figure who values tradition and learning. Tradition, that's another good vocabulary word for this card for me. So a wise authority figure who values tradition and learning almost as much as big-headed Brainy Janie. This card is a reminder to listen to the teachers and authority figures in your life. Learn everything you can from them so you can become their smarty pants that you're destined to be. Cool. So what's kind of similar? I love that there is the atomic symbol here, right? Almost like, let's get down to the nuts and bolts. What else do we have here that's similar? I almost feel like, okay, so these two bald heads with the yellow things, I feel like are totally represented by these little lights that she's got on her pedestal here. And she's on a pedestal, which I think is an interesting interpretation as well. Because we do have a tendency to put a higher faith and authority in and respect for institutions like the judicial system or Congress or even corporations or certain universities. And me personally think it's important to question the validity of those of that faith sometimes. That's it. Okay. So this card also, I guess another layer for this is a higher learning card. And I almost feel like this is definitely, I mean, the meaning that they took for this card is a higher learning card. So I would kind of almost be like somebody going to college if I was looking at this. there's just so many layers to the Hierophant, but to me it's like social norms, things that we're all accustomed to, that are institutions in our society. So in the reverse, this deck is putting out questions, which I think is awesome. I love it when a card deck asks questions. In the reverse, I almost think that this card means problem with authority. Or you are going outside of the norm, off the beaten path, outside of traditional institutions. Let's see what it says in here. In here it says, do you feel like going against the grain, making your own way, following your own instincts? Reverse, the Hierophant shows that you're at odds with the status quo. Take the example of the delightfully gross and messy Garbage Pail Kids and be yourself. You'll be happiest if you stay true to you. Nice. So this almost in the reverse gives permission to not not do what everybody else is doing. That in this case, it's not right for you. Or it just may be a statement that you're not doing what everybody else is doing, but it's making you happier not doing what everybody else is doing. All right, there we go. Let's go to, oopsies, the Lovers. Okay, I learned today, just today, in a reading I did today for myself. This card for me is always unions and partnerships, right? Of course, it's love, romantic love, but it's all love. It's all romantic. It's romantic. It's platonic. It's all love. It's all love. Familial. It's all love. But like I figured out today that if you get the Lovers card in a reading and it's not like a love reading and you don't have any new partners coming into your life, the epiphany kind of came to me that the Lovers is the union of yourself with the divine as well. You are co-creating your life with the divine. So that is a new layered meaning for me. It is unions and partnerships, but if there are no visible unions and partnerships around, I remember that I am a co-creator and partner with the universe in creating my best life. Just saying. All right, so we've got the Lovers Ada and Adam Bomb. Their minds are both blown. This is like the perfect union, right? We are on a I mean, everything is in love here. We've got snakes here. We've got little butterflies. They look like an inchworm that are joined together on this flower. These almost look like grapes to me. I don't know what these little things are. Maybe like the pomegranates or whatever that you see. The elements, I like that they used a lot of green. To me, green is heart chakra. There is not a mountain between our lovers here. They're literally connected. The snake is here too. Like the snake is even smitten. He's on the snake is on the masculine side of the card versus the feminine side of the card. I don't see anything burning. No burning bush around here. The angel wings, it looks like to me is just blessed by love. That I also kind of think of love bombing is another attribute of this card that I think of as well, because they are using Adam Bomb. And I think if I found myself because I like this card, these cards is kind of like, boy, they feel real. You know what I mean? Like love bomb. It just kind of just feels like a real thing that people will say, you know. It is a real thing that people say. It's a real thing even. So to get this maybe in a love reading, I think it'd be interesting to be like, whoa, love bombs. Wow. Your side, their side, both sides. So I just think that this is an interesting deck. Okay, anyways, let's get to the upright. The upright, the Lovers represents a stable, balanced, happy union, like the strange, explosive bond between Ada and Adam Bomb. This card can symbolize perfect partnerships, friendships, and pairs of all sorts in a tarot reading. It's a positive sign that a union will be mutually beneficial. And that union, like I said, can also be with like your higher power. In the reverse, It says, inverted, the lover symbolizes a union turned sour. Whether this refers to a love, friendship, or business partnership, it's clear that you've come to a turning point. Will you part ways or stay and try to work things out? The choice is yours, but know that getting things back on track may require a lot of work and time. All right, moving on to the Chariots. Oops. Velocity Victor. Upright, Velocity Victor is ready to hop onto or into the chariot and drive it as far and fast as fate will allow. The chariot symbolizes momentum, drive, and determination. This is a sign that stamina is called for. You cross the finish line only if you stay focused and don't lose confidence in your own ability to win. Oh, he is much different than I kind of would have expected him to be. They kept the Sphinx images of the chariot. There's wheels here. He's in an actual chariot, even though these are sitting lions or sitting sphinxes. So I'm just trying to kind of see kind of some of what the similarities. At least they kept the belt and the symbols. Did they keep the symbols? No, they changed the symbols. We've got a moon, we've got a star. What else have we got there? Like a little rectangle thing. His pendant is gone. He does have the half moons here on his shoulders, but the faces are gone. We've got stars everywhere, kind of shown here in the chariot covering. And let's see what else. We've got the city in the background, right? So moving away from something. He's got a lot of color around him. So I almost feel like, and when he walks, he's breaking the earth. I was going to say, it almost feels like he is the chariot, right? And he's got, I almost feel like grand ideas when I'm looking at this. Groundbreaking ideas is kind of what I look at. So the things that I see that are new is that his feet are protected and have these kind of like spikes. So it's like protective movement forward. I mean, he's just coming out in a ball of glory right here. The only other thing that I can think of is these ideas have movement because they're coming out of his head. They're definitely like ideas instead of just movement on some something intangible thing. So yeah, it's just interesting. All right, so let's see what the reverse says. The chariot, when it's upside down, suggests that you're preoccupied with control and trying to force things to go your way. Determination is one thing, but be careful not to go overboard in pursuit of your goals. Even Velocity Victor needs to know when to slow down and loosen the reins a little. You can't be in control of everything all of the time. Sometimes you have to go with the flow and let things unfold naturally. All right, Muscular Molly. Muscular Molly. The tarot card strength is a reminder that inner strength can mean more than physical strength. You don't need to have the magnificent might of a muscular Molly to make your dreams come true. Sometimes all you need is the power of persuasion and gentle guidance. Approach conflicts in your life with tact rather than intimidation for the best outcome. In the reverse, I also kind of, we all have kind of like our own inner demons, right? Like, just things that we have a tendency towards. And as we grow and mature, we are able to kind of overcome those things. So we've made friends with our demons. We've embraced them. It's not that we control them. We just allow them to express themselves in healthy ways, right? So you have your demons kind of like under control. is one way I've also kind of interpreted this. So I just think that, I don't know. But it is more than just physical strength. It is that inner strength that you have. In the reverse, strength shows you may not be feeling quite up to snuff. Though you've lost some confidence, you can regain your mojo by remembering what your unique strengths are. Whether or not you're as physically strong as muscular Molly, or you have unique traits that make you incredible in your own way. Be proud of them. So in just keeping it simple, my own layered reversal for this card, my added my own added kind of definition, I guess, would be confidence. You know, look at confidence, self-confidence. All right. Then we have the Hermit, Sappy Sarah. And this is just an introspection card. All right, so I've always looked at the Hermit as introspection. In the upright, you know, just kind of going in and self-reflection. And then in the reverse, I'm kind of like, all right, you're depressed, come out of your cave kind of thing. Okay, upright. Everyone needs alone time every now and then. The Hermit advises you to slow down and really consider your situation and where you're headed. Maybe it's time for you to take a walk in the woods for some peaceful time alone to think. A little solitude will clear your head, and who knows? You may just run into Sappy Sarah or someone equally as awe-inspiring while you're out there. Reversed. Let's kind of look at the image a little bit here. I mean, she's basically just a tree. Lots of spider webs everywhere. I don't know. I don't get a whole heck of a lot from the image itself. And she's not gross. So, like, I guess what's kind of nice is kind of like, you know, maybe the tree root being, looking at your foundation, how you're rooted, how you're grounded, appreciating the unique way that you've grown, maybe. She lights up the snow. I mean, I feel like these are snowflakes that are kind of falling on her. And then she's kind of like lighting them up. Spider webs make me feel like, I don't know, October-ish. Yeah, I don't get a whole bunch more. So yeah, so alone time, solitude, self-reflection in the upright. And then in the reverse, we have the solitude of the upright Hermit card intensifies and turns to isolation and loneliness. Don't hide away or you'll soon be feeling as sad and sorry as Sappy Sarah. You've been keeping to yourself long enough. Pursue new interests, gather with friends, and get back to exploring and enjoying the world. All right. The Wheel of Fortune. Sorry. The Wheel of Fortune. This is Twist of Fate Kate, and she is a brand new character for Garbage Pail Kids. So she's brand new just specifically for this deck. In the upright, as Twist of Fate Kate, I always look at this as what goes up must come down. What is down always goes up. What else do I do? Destiny. Yeah, this is your destiny. What else? Wheel of Fortune. I'm trying to think of other things that I think of. Fate. Okay. So as Twist of Fate Kate knows all too well, fate and fortune always seem to step in and shake things up when you least expect it. The Wheel of Fortune represents those surprising, pivotal moments. Though you like the comfort of feeling like you're in control, luck is ever changing. It is time to admit that some things are simply out of your control. Let the Wheel of Fortune spin and land where it may. In the reverse, In the reverse, I feel like things haven't necessarily gone your way typically. That's how I read that. When the Wheel of Fortune indicates a string of seemingly bad luck, though nothing seems to be going right, know that things may not be as dire as they appear. What may seem like bad luck now may actually turn out to be a blessing in disguise in the future. Don't let setbacks and disappointments keep you down for long. You never know what's coming next. Life is full of unexpected twists of fate. Justice. Leaky Lindsay. Oh, you know what I didn't do that I should have done, that I need to do, is what are the differences or kind of the similarities. So they've got the bird down here, and I need to know what that is. I cannot remember for the life of me what that bird is, but I believe it's one of the signs. It's a sign. I know this is Virgo. This is, I don't know what that is. This is Taurus, and this is Leo. And here we've got like somebody leaking, maybe not Leo, but leaking somebody there. We've got the Taurus bull. Oh, then we've got the Leo line. So maybe this is the maiden, because this is the Virgo, the maiden for the Virgo. I just don't know what he is. And if you know what this stupid bird is, which, in the comments, let me know. Please write it down before me, because like for whatever reason that one just won't stick. And I know I've looked it up more than once. Then we have the Sphinx at the top, and Twist of Fate Kate is the Sphinx there at the top. And she is holding a flower instead of a sword, but her head is in the clouds. A big difference in colors on this, for sure. The snake indicates, I think, transformation. I'm trying to think of like, what else am I seeing? Nothing. The only thing blue in there is Kate. I see here the polarities, the yin and the yang, right? The polarities of the moon, which is interesting. They've dropped the tarot letters and Hebrew letters. We have lots of clouds everywhere. They dropped this dog thingy, which I don't know what that is either. I should. It all means something. All right, so now we go back to Justice here. And some of our similarities, we've got a sword, but here it's stuck in the ground. Here he's holding it up in the air. We've got the Scales of Justice, which for her is like the snot coming out of her nose and being divided into bowls. I don't know. It's pretty disgusting. Then we've got like some bugs, some flies down. Looks so gross. And I don't know if she's filled up with stars or if that's her gown that is full of stars. But like there's like a head with nothingness and a red robe on it. I'm trying to think what. So the shape of the scales is there. So that's the similarity. It's being held up by birds who are on a floating plant of some sort. And then the sun is glowing behind her, which I think might be representative of the crown that he wears on his head. Of course, there is this glowing sun here. I do not see any pillars. I see the birds instead. Birds to me kind of gossiping, talking. And their beaks are too full to be whispering in our ears, right? But that's not, it's definitely coming out of her nose. All right, let's see. Leaky Lindsay is the Justice card here. And justice to me is like fairness, truth, court, something legal, law and order, and yeah, that's usually what I associate with justice. Let's see what this says here. Upright. Snotty-nosed Leaky Lindsay holds the sacred scales of justice aloft, symbolizing the undeniable authority of cause and effect. It's important to make sure you're being fair and just, even when life gives you an unfair and unjust amount of snot to deal with. Balance, moderation, and honesty will see you through any messy, goopy, or gross situations in which you find yourself. Kind of like the, you know, court and stuff is gross. I like it. It is gross. It sucks. Nobody likes being there. Okay. Balance, moderation, and honesty. Okay. Now let's go to the reverse. In the reverse, every decision is followed by a reaction. Consider the consequences of your choices carefully before deciding to go through with them. Though it may be tempting to take the easy way out, remember that whatever you say or sneeze may come back to haunt you. Justice, when reversed, warns that you could be left with a sticky, tricky, icky mess to deal with if you're not as truthful as you should be. So, for me, I say, you know, truth, fairness, in the reverse, not truth, not fair. I don't know. That's my simple definition of the Justice card. I just feel like if this came up in like a reading, I guess, depending on, I would definitely think of this as like a messy divorce. It's like something messy. Something messy. Ugh. All right, now we've got the Hanged Man. I do find like a lot of truth in this because like it does make you kind of like, it really kind of makes, I have a hard time accepting negatives because you can turn any negative into a positive, right? But this kind of makes you look at the negatives in a more funny way and like, damn, that negative's there. In any case. So let's go to the Hanged Man, Wacky Jackie. Upright, Wacky Jackie finds herself suspended by the ankle from a tree branch. Yeah, by her tongue. By her tongue. That is wrapped up and suspended by the tree branch, not by her ankle, but by her tongue. I'm like, to me, this immediately is like, shut your mouth, hold your tongue, right? Just don't fucking say a word. Don't say a fucking word. That says to me right there. Wacky Jackie finds herself suspended by the ankle from a tree branch. Hanging upside down, she sees the world from a whole new perspective. The Hanged Man represents moments of stillness, delays, and the need for change in your point of view. If you feel like you've been driving yourself crazy trying to accomplish something, but not making any headway, it could be time to pause and think about how to approach your mission from a new angle. I'm just like, I think there's a couple of things happen. It's just an interesting picture. Because I've always kind of thought of this as like shift your perspective, you know, surrender to the moment. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, when you're hanging upside down, of course, you know, the world looks completely different. It's a different perspective, right? You're shifting your perspective. But when I look at this, I'm like, you are hung upside down by your tongue. So shut your mouth. Your eyes are popping out of your head. There's springs all over you in case you fall and hit, so you don't hit your head. Like, you are so outside of the norm of what the rest of the world sees. Like, you're off, not the rest of the world, is kind of how I look at this. Shift your perspective. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. What I think is interesting here is that you've got this gecko kind of holding, having its foot held by a red string. And it's like he's trying to shift himself into this guy's perspective. But nobody can identify with this guy's perspective. Nobody has springs on their head in case that they fall, because nobody would willingly like string themselves up by their tongue. But he's in a straitjacket, man. This guy, poor guy, is just a big old mess. Okay, so let's see what the reverse of this says. And to me, in the reverse, this is like not seeing the other side. Let's see what the garbage pail kids say. Are you feeling stuck, trapped in an unfortunate situation as topsy-turvy as wacky jackies? The Hanged Man suggests that it's time for you to surrender to it. See, surrender. Stop wasting your energy fruitlessly trying to regain control and take a moment to have a look around and appreciate the situation you're in. There are silver linings and other ways to navigate this predicament that you haven't considered yet. Keep your eyes and mind open to them. Shifting your perspective, yes, there might be a better way to see where you're going than putting everything on springs and hanging upside down, and you know, there's probably a better way than springs drilled into your head to help the fall. I don't know. With this guy here, everybody's trying to shift their perspective. I don't know. This is such a weird card. But they, like, whatever it inspires, whatever it makes you think of is what's right for you. And that's what I really like about this card. It almost shocks my system and my brain and everything that I know about tarot. And I'm like, I get these incredibly cool messages. Anyway, just saying. All right, 13, Death, Grim Jim. And he's in a field of flowers here. He's sitting on a flower. He's got this scythe. And I almost see like this dead flower here is like, hey man, what's happening? Who are you here for? But I do like the depiction here. We've got some beautiful white flowers here, and then we've got some dead flowers above it that are longer and taller. And every season there is, and he's using a scythe to, you know, cut away the dead, right? So I do kind of feel like it is a card of change, of cycles, just and it is probably a better depiction, I feel, than this guy. You know, with this dead person in the field and these poor orphaned children, and the Pope saying, you know, I guess take their father to the other side, provide for these kids somehow. I don't know. This is, I think, a Rosicrucian symbol right there. But I like the way that this one is, because I do like to interpret the death card as like the changing of seasons, the cycle of life. In the fall, all the leaves fall off, and then winter comes and everything is dormant and nothing grows, and everything is dead. And in the spring, then you start to see the shoots of green, and spring kind of growing, and everything is renewed and reborn again. So death is a natural part of the cycle before rebirth. So it's also Scorpio. I have to embrace this negative card as my own. So there we go. To many tarot readers, death seems like a very ominous card to draw. Don't worry, you're not about to find yourself face to face with Grim Jim, because death doesn't actually foretell your imminent demise. Instead, this tarot card represents beginnings, endings, and transformations of all sorts. An aspect of your life is going through a major change, whether this means you're switching jobs, moving to a new home, or experiencing evolution in an important relationship. This tarot card advises you to go with the flow and be open to new things. In the reverse, death represents resistance to change and progress. It's time for you to move on and step into the next phase of your life. But you don't want to let go just yet. This tarot card warns you that delaying the process only makes this transition harder for you. Don't prolong it anymore. You know what you need to do. Exciting new opportunities are in your future. All right. Then we've got Temperance. Balanced Betty. Look at her. And she's standing on one foot. Why are her fingers like, I don't even really know what to do with this. I'm just looking at this image and I'm thinking, Okay, she kept the triangle. We've got the triangle emblem here from the original Temperance card. I should know which angel this represents, but I don't. I want to say it's Gabriel, but I don't know. I haven't learned my angels yet. And there's so many different just influences in tarot. So we've got what's kind of happening in here? What's the saying? We've got one toe in and one toe out of the water. So that's the same. We've got daffodils, only these ones are like, one over here is spraying water, and this one over here is just maybe waiting for the water to come over. Instead of having cups in her hands are blending together. I almost feel like if she's paint and water touched it, like they're moving the water around is just like making her dissolve. I don't know. I don't get it. What else? What else is the same? I noticed that they're mirror images. So like in this one, she's facing us, so it would be her left foot on the shore, and her right foot in the water, whereas in this one the right foot is on the shore and the left foot is in the water. In this one we have two daffodils on one side. I'm certain that the two probably represents balance again. A balanced path you kind of see here, with the sun and the mountains kind of in the distance. We've lost some of that. We've lost some of that in the, this is just mostly water. I'm not really seeing the path. However, the path may be represented by her ponytail here. The sun off in the distance, this may be like energy from the sun. Let's see, what else do we see here? I'm seeing stars where we're not seeing stars in this one. All right, let's see what it has to say. Upright. It's time to go with the flow like balanced Betty. Temperance represents equilibrium, fairness, and moderation. It's time to stay cool as a cucumber and play the peacemaker in any squabbles you may find yourself in. Now isn't the time for hot-headedness, rash decisions, or haste. Relax, stay calm, and let the pieces fall where they will. In the reverse, Temperance in its upright orientation represents balance, but when reversed, it represents an imbalance. You may be feeling unfocused or scatterbrained, or maybe you're focusing too much on one aspect of your life at the expense of others. Bring balance back to your perspectives and let balanced Betty serve as inspiration to regain your flow. All right. The devil. Oh my goodness, Cranky Frankie and Hot Scott. Wow. So we've got 4 people chained down here instead of just the 2. I feel like they're in water, although their feet may be in water, but you can't really tell from this older image. I think his bat wings have been replaced by these enormous ears. That look like tunnels almost, that lead to fire. Then we have these books are on fire. And it literally has like math on there. What else? What else do we have here? He's got eyeballs in one hand and bones. Oh, okay, here we go. This must be Hot Scott here in the center. I didn't realize that there was a... So this is Cranky Frankie and then Hot Scott, and he's like a traditional like baby devil right there. And he has the feet of this devil here. What else? The talons. this guy has talons here, kind of like bird talons that are similar to the horns in this one. I don't see any other elements of like Capricorn that I would be looking for. All right. The devil for me is like, whenever I look at these, I usually see the people first. I see the people first and I think of codependency and addiction. And then when I see the devil first, I think of ego. And it just depends on what the cards end up next to. But those are kind of like the two things: codependency, addiction, and then also ego. All right, what is this? What is Cranky Frankie and Hot Scott? The devil represents temptation and excess. This card suggests you're caught up in instant gratification and not concerned enough with its consequences. Be careful not to act impulsively, take unnecessary risks, or let temptation get the better of you. Or you may just find yourself caught in the fiery clutches of Cranky Frankie and Hot Scott. Reversed. Inverted, the harmful, chaotic nature of the Devil Tarot card is internalized. You're being self-destructive and limiting your own success. This card suggests that you're feeling powerless to turn things around, but Cranky Frankie and Hot Scott's shackles are looser than you think. You have what it takes to put yourself on a better path. You just have to decide to fully commit to it. Interesting. So fully commit. And again, this deck has an emphasis when it goes to the negative. It has an emphasis on self-destructive behaviors. So I like in the reverse, looking at the devil, that this would be self-destructive, right? Here you are engaging, but these were just more like self-destructive thoughts. You're getting in your own way, kind of self-destructive. Yeah, very, I don't know. I really do like this deck a lot. The Tower, Cracked Jack. The Tower represents unexpected destruction. Things are falling apart in a major way, just like they are for poor Cracked Jack. This could refer to the unforeseen collapse of a relationship, career goal, or friendship. While this may sound like gloom and doom, remember that the destruction makes room for creation. Things that are no longer meant for you are clearing out of the way to make room for new beginnings. Oh, Tower. Okay. I always think of the Tower as a surprise. What are some similarities between these two? This Cracked Jack, which very much reminds me of, like, because of the way his head is shaped, it reminds me of Humpty Dumpty, right? He reminds me very much of Humpty Dumpty. He also reminds me of those old, and he looks more like those old antique dolls, or not antique dolls, but just glass dolls that you put high on a shelf, and if you play with them at all, they their faces break, or their heads fall off, or they shatter, just like this, like Cracked Jack here. But to me, it's kind of like a surprise. It's kind of like a Tower moment. Like, it's a surprise. It's something unexpected. So in this deck, it is saying it is a full collapse of a relationship, career goal, or friendship. It depends on the length of time. You have, I think, in a reading to determine whether or not it's going to be like, this is a major destruction versus a slight surprise. I don't know. I think it really depends on the question that you're asking, but I always like to just kind of interpret the Tower as unexpected. In the reverse, it says, you're digging your You're digging your heels and refusing to accept the major change the Tower represents. Know that this collapse is inevitable. Like cracked Jack, there is no gluing things back together. You're only prolonging the process of change and delaying the new beginnings that await you. Don't stand in your own way. So it's very similar to, I think, I feel like this is very similar to the Death card in this deck, right? Resisting change. And rather than death, it's destruction. So, there we go. I think if you get the Death card and the Tower card, like, and it's a relationship reading, like, that says a lot. You're all done. That's over. But if you're if you just get this card and no death, like, behind it, like there's something else more positive around it, I'm like, it's more of a surprise. It might be a good surprise even. So it just depends on what you're asking. But Tower and Death card, even the Devil card, are not always like negative. They're just not always negative. That's it. All right. So don't stand in your own way, according to the Garbage Pail Kids Tower, in the reversed. Let's see. The Star. This has always been a hope card for me. Or fame and recognition. Okay, so this is Hopeful Hedda. Upright, though things look dire for hopeful Hedda, as she springs lots of leaks, she looks serenely to the star, trusting that everything will turn out right. The star represents hope, faith, and staying positive in times of trouble. If you found yourself in a difficult situation, the star reminds you to keep believing that everything will be okay in the end. Reversed, the star represents hopelessness. Oops. In the reverse, it represents hopelessness and the loss of confidence. You no longer feel like you have the power to get yourself out of an unfortunate situation. Giving into despair will only make things worse for you. Take the example of Hopeful Hedda and stay bright and trusting even in the darkness. You do have what it takes to see yourself through this. You just must believe in yourself. All right, so let's take a look at some of these similarities. I feel like sometimes I'm doing this and sometimes I'm not, and that is just what it is. Let's see. So we've got the same star. Nearly almost the same star right there. We have the same number of stars, the 4 and the 3. 4 and 3. We have, what else do we have? I see more of, I'm interpreting this back here as a mountain, whereas there's just a teeny tiny mountain right here. She's at the base, I feel like, of a mountain. Let's see. We've got a couple of jugs here pouring water. To me, this represents the subconscious, right? And the things that we innately know or have a knowing of. Here she also has 2 water basins. I'm going to call them basins because this looks kind of like a coffee cup. And this one, she's just holding it differently, but they're leaking. They're leaking kind of like, I don't know, almost like a flower. I don't know, water's running out of them, but it feels like, you know, when you're like a flower watering can or whatever. Even though there is an X over it and the water is flowing from the sides of the cup, like the top edge, instead of like the inside of the cup, which is weird. She looks like she's like tattooed, or has like leather skin or lizard skin, of some sort, to be kind of like in the water. Maybe she's like pruny from sitting in the water too long. You know, when you take a bath and you're in the water too long. But actually I feel like she's a fish out of water is what I'm kind of like reading from her, because if you look here, like her foot in her shoe has got like what I would consider like tattoos on, right? But then when she's got her foot in the water over here, her tattoo is gone. So then if these are fish scales, right, and she's a fish out of water, she needs the water in order to kind of become who she is again. So I would almost interpret this as dipping into the ether and rejuvenating and filling your own cup, you know, filling your subconscious of your own value and self-worth, and being in that alignment. That's kind of, I mean, that's really just kind of what I would interpret from this card. But I do have this overwhelming sense of she's a fish out of water. And she's like grateful she found this water. She's trying to pour it on herself, you know, kind of like, you know, maybe to cover up her scales. She might be wearing a mask too, because this is Garbage Pail Kids, right? There's like a realness to this. Like, her mask is not showing her scales. That part of being a superstar is only showing a certain part of herself. She's hiding behind that mountain, perhaps. I think that's just an interesting card. Definitely they kept some similarities for the Rider Waite. This almost looks like there's a bird whispering in her ear. There's just so much, whatever, and there's like, see, there's like a butterfly in there, and I think whatever your eyes are kind of drawn to in a reading, will be a tendency of how you interpret it. But I'll probably always forever interpret her as a fish out of water when I see this star, that you're hoping that, you know, you're on the right path, but you feel like a fish out of water. You feel uncomfortable. So interesting. I wonder how, if uncomfortable or discomfort is going to be something that translates for this star for me too, as a layer for meaning. Interesting card. See, this is the kind of card that makes me rethink the traditional meanings that I have for some of these cards. Because what if the star is a mermaid, right? What if she is only got her feet in there because she does need to be like, because she's a fish out of water? Just saying. Ariel. Like, I guess Disney is my, if I did a Disney card deck, Ariel would be my moon card. All right. I mean, not my moon card, my star card. Good God. All right, here we go. The moon. Let's see. This is Hope. Oh, wait, that's Hopeful Hedda. This is Eerie Eric. I am so drawn to the happy side of this moon, right? I'm just so drawn to the happy side of the moon. And I have to look hard to see this ugly face. I really do. He looks like the Stay Puft marshmallow dude from Ghostbusters, only in blue to me. That's what that moon looks like to me. Then we have like, I want to say it looks like Hot Scott, like from the Devil card, like the little demon, only he's full of hair. And I want to say he's wearing a diaper. And he's got kind of a, I guess kind of like a cat face with fangs. He's got claws and he's holding a bone. But this is a very creepy image. Very, like, I want to say late fall kind of October feel, right? And then the hat, that silly, stupid hat, just feels super like sailor, like beachy. You know, it makes him kind of look like a sailor, and he kind of looks, I don't know, it's very weird. And it's got lace on the back of that hat too. I'm like, what is up with the lace on the back of the hat? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just kind of a weird image. The moon to me has always been my shadow self. That's kind of how I've interpreted it. Kind of embracing the darker sides of my personality, and doing that kind of like work. But let's see what it says in the book here. It says, upright, the moon reminds you that things aren't always what they seem. Yeah, secrets and mysteries. But typically about myself is kind of how I interpret. Sorry. Okay, so the moon reminds you that things aren't always what they seem. Foes can be friends, and friends can be revealed as foes that rival the ferocity and creepiness of eerie Eric. It's important to be discerning now to avoid being tricked or swindled. Trust your intuition and any gut feelings that arise. If something doesn't feel right to you, trust your instincts and act accordingly. And in the reverse, are you letting your fears get the better of you? Reverse, the moon shows that you're feeling withdrawn, nervous, and scared. Are space aliens really out to get you? Is eerie Eric actually as sinister as he appears to be? Or are you letting your wild imagination run away with you? It's time to face your fears. Only then will you see things as they really are. All right. So I think if I saw this with the moon card, when I see the moon card with the devil card, then I would say definitely like your fears are holding you back. Because typically your ego is afraid to tell you that you're afraid of stuff. But oftentimes I just feel like this is almost like a self-acceptance card to kind of shine a light on the things that you don't necessarily like about yourself. And this might be like, shining a light here on this little guy, all right, we'll just move on. Moving on, the sun. Beachy Brian. So I always look at this card as an inner child card because of this particular deck. There is a child on a horse playing out in the sun. There's these beautiful flowers around, which I kind of feel like is more like a garden because they look like they're in something that doesn't look like ground to me. But anyways, I always think of this as happy inner child. Your inner child is fulfilled and happy. This one, I feel like sometimes we can look at okay, so my initial feeling knowing that this is an inner child card for me, and I look at this and I go, this is the inner child card, and I'm like, that inner child is burning up. That inner child is on fire. And sometimes we can kind of fit this like, oh, I had the best childhood kind of, and it could just like be burning us up. But I think he's like a potato chip or something like that. Let's see. Beachy Brian. Upright, the sun radiates happiness and positivity with a glow as big and bright as Beachy Brian's. This card represents happiness and pure joy. You're feeling energized and lively. So make time to go have some fun in the sun. Soak up these good vibes and enjoy the moment. You deserve it. And in the reverse, me, opposite, unhappy inner child. Anyways, inverted, the sun represents sadness or a loss of energy. You may be feeling tired and worn out. To relight your beachy inner glow, make time to reconnect with the things that make you truly happy. It doesn't matter if they're simple or silly. Build a sandcastle, sunbathe, or enjoy time out in nature. Gardening. Remember, what makes life worth living will reinvigorate you. All right, then we go to Judgment. Judgment. Boney Tony. I kind of did this. I forgot to do this with the sun. Sorry. Here we go. Big sun. I like that they kept the rays kind of like that. They definitely implemented childhood here. Here it's on a horse, but here we've got a little car and sandcastle and the sunflower he's holding in his hand. So that's a similar symbolism. I'm sorry I didn't do that already, but there you go. And here we got Judgment. I love how I love this depiction so much better than this. In some levels, I like how like you've got this almost like Groot popping out of the top of a skull here, but like things are reborn, you know. In any case, this has always been an awakening card for me. So old ideas are born into new ideas. is kind of what I kind of get here, because we're just using the head, and I always think of the head as an idea place. The fact that these are dead ideas or dead heads or skeletons, whatever, you know. And here you've got this angel suit on, but he's dead too, basically, right? And what does he got? Like, he's got eyeballs coming out of his horns. It looks like when he blew the horn, like something like glass or something came out. He's got something coming out of his head, and this looks like, I don't know, different personalities, people, perhaps it's just an interesting card. But it's an awakening card, and it's like at the very top here, we've got a whole new person being born. We've got all this dead stuff. This is, like, to me, like dead ideas that have grown into new ideas here. We've got even an angel is kind of like, that's an old dead idea. And what's being born from it is this authentic creativity, is kind of what I'm kind of seeing here. So it is very much an awakening of coming into our own and into ourselves, of who we're born to be, I feel like, with this card. So in the upright, it says the traditional illustration of the Judgment Tarot card features an angel's trumpet call heralding Judgment Day. This card represents a karmic call to awakening. If you've been feeling complacent and going through the motions, Judgment shows that it's time to find your true calling and purpose. Shed your past like Boney Tony and step into the future as a brand new you. Pursue your passion with everything you've got, and your own personal evolution will come naturally. In the reverse, when reversed, Judgment shows that you're struggling with feelings of guilt and remorse. You can't move on to the next chapter of your life until you take accountability and make amends. You've been trying to ignore the past, but it's become a hindrance to you. Do whatever you need to do to make things right so you can shed your heavy guilt and finally move forward. Ooh. Now, I will definitely take that layer with me. I've never really thought of Judgment in the reverse as being guilt. I don't know if they said shame, but I always put those in the same category. But I will definitely take that with me as heavy guilt. Guilt and shame hold you in the past. So that's, whereas this would be kind of more growth. Very, very cool. All right. So yeah, I will definitely take away Judgment in the reverse for me forever and always now will be guilt and shame. Interesting. And those are the things that keep us from awakening and, you know, being our true selves. All right, the world. What are some differences and similarities? We've got that damn bird again, which I don't know what that is. I know I can look it up. I know I've looked it up before. It just doesn't stick. So maybe somebody commenting could tell me or remind me, what is that bird? All right, we've got Leo the lion again up here. We've got Taurus, bull, and we've got, I'm going to assume that this is the maiden, even though it's just a cloudy face. We've got the Earth, and we have all these planets. And I just learned this, so this might be something. If you're starting with the astrology of your there's a lot of astrology in tarot decks, right? So you can pull, the more you know, the more symbolism you have, the more you can glean from individual cards. But you can start with just, you know, just this card alone just means completion. You've done what you set out to do. Your goal is complete. It can also mean new beginning, because you've completed your goal. Now you need a new beginning. You're kind of looking at the world and kind of enjoying the fruits of your labor at this moment. So you're just at a place of completion. And a new beginning, I guess, to begin. So, but what I think is interesting about this card here is it is bringing in some kind of astrological attributes. And one thing that I've learned about astrology is that I would almost interpret this, because I just learned this, only because I just learned this, as time, right? Because the zodiac signs, what I found out, are like the numbers on a clock. They don't move, right? Zodiac signs or constellations in the sky don't move. So we use the planets like hands on a clock to know what time it is. It's just super simple, and just kind of maybe something to stick in your hat. But to me, this is time. This is a good representation of time, and it's a good representation of time in terms of the astrological calendar. Astrology is just a calendar. It's a clock. So anyways, let's see what it says about the world. But to me, this is completion. Of maybe like a full 24 hours. I would even say, I would even almost say this is like within a clock period, within a time period. I would use this card, just, I know in a reading, I would view it as time now, just because I know that. Anyways, there's some time elements in there with those planets. The world, masterpiece Eunice. Upright, the world represents completion, mastery, and accomplishment. Your life is your own masterpiece. You've worked so hard to get where you are today. Through many trials and tribulations, you persevered and made your own dreams come true. The sky isn't the limit for what you can accomplish. Like the creative, innovative, and artsy-fartsy masterpiece, Eunice, you've rocketed far beyond previous limits and into the stars. Proudly enjoy the life you've created for yourself. You're out of this world. And in the reverse, the world represents a need for closure and completion. Parts of your life may feel chaotic and messy right now. Rather than starting new projects and adventures as a distraction, this tarot card suggests that you take time to settle and reconcile the ones you've abandoned or left half finished. Dot your I's and cross your T's so you can blast off into your next great venture without distraction. All right, and now we get to move into the people in the cups. And one thing I do like about this book, and this is just, I'm just kind of learning astrology right now, but in astrology, the elements, they start with water, then earth, then air, then fire, because earth technically like floats on water, right? And then air is above earth, and then fire leaps and sparks all about, and goes as high as it can. So anyway, so moving on to the minor arcana, we start with the King of Cups, and we have, he is alligator. The King of Cups is calm, cool, and collected leader. He rules with compassion, but like alligator, isn't afraid to bare his teeth when provoked. Keep an open mind when solving problems and dealing with complicated situations. Now isn't the time for ferocity. Reverse, the King of Cups becomes quick to anger. There we go. Prone to lashing out and embraces manipulation. This card can either be a personal warning to check your own behavior and make sure you're not letting your emotions get the better of you, or it could represent someone who causes emotional turbulence in your life. Set healthy boundaries to avoid becoming their prey. People cards, honest, are just kind of like the hardest for me. Sometimes, like, I've always thought of the King of Cups as being like an empathetic and compassionate kind of person, but I guess in the reverse I just kind of go to emotionally toxic, because it's cups, it's emotion. So this person probably wouldn't have like emotional boundaries. Okay. So, and the other thing too is I always think of the King of Cups as having control of his emotions, whereas a king in reversed wouldn't have control of emotions, so he would be kind of prone to kind of lashing out emotionally. All right, so let's move on to the Queen of Cups. Smelly Sally. Oh, wow. And she's, okay. Well, she's got this cup thing here too. I didn't compare these cups either. Let me compare them really quick. He has one cup and a scepter, and they're mirror images again. So it is facing the opposite direction of the king. His scepter is in his right hand instead of the left hand. The cup is in the left hand instead of the right hand. They're both sitting on a throne in the ocean, or in water. That is in water. I kind of see a fish, I guess, back here. But there are two fish here. So, and one in his mouth as well. There is a fish on his pendant here. And he's got something on here too, but I can't really tell what that is. But those are just kind of some of the similarities. I like that they used hearts on here on his crown instead of, but they're red. You know, they're both red. They're both gold. Yeah, anyways. With these fish, I would probably associate this card more with Pisces than Scorpio. Even though I'm fairly certain that King of Cups is associated with Scorpio. All right, so then we would look at Smelly Sally. She has a seashell, or kind of like a boat or something that she's sitting in. She has this cup as well. She looks very kind of like self-absorbed to me, and less compassionate than I recognize the Queen of Cups to be, being very empathetic and compassionate. She, on the other hand, this queen here looks very just shallow. It just looks shallow. And I suppose, you know, if she's in the shallows of the sea, if we can see seashells down here, like, I almost feel like she's shallow, like just a shallow. Okay, so in the upright, the Queen of Cups is a beautiful, soft-hearted matriarch who loves nurturing and supporting others, although in Smelly Sally's case, those closest to her would probably prefer her to do so from afar. P.U. This card advises you to float gracefully through times of turbulence and maintain your kindness and composure. And I think this is actually a lovely way that they have done this, because the Queen of Cups can be a person. It can be characteristics. So the person with characteristics who is like beautiful, soft-hearted, matriarch, who loves nurturing and supporting others. That would be the attributes of a person who's like the Queen of Cups. It also can signify like a sign, a zodiac sign, which I'm not going to do in this video because I don't have the right cards with me to make sure I'm getting it right. And but I like that it also says that the attributes of the card itself, just the meaning of the card itself, is or the guidance for this card is to float gracefully through times of turbulence and maintain your kindness and composure. So I almost feel like this is relax, go with the flow. Like that's what I'm going to take away from the Queen of Cups, because I've always thought of this as a person card, and I have a difficult time translating it from a person into an actual attribute or meaning like I would with any other card. So I will probably take this away with me as go with the flow. I would just kind of take this away as like go with the flow, and so that, you know, maintaining healthy emotions, being kind and compassionate and composed around other people. So yeah, and she's like right at the edge there. It feels like she's going up with the waves and coming down with the waves. So very cool. Very cool. But I'll probably also think of her as being shallow, probably in the reverse. All right, let's see. Let's see what she is in the reverse. And that was just something that came up from just reading the cards and looking at the cards attributes. Like, she's going to be shallow. When the Queen of Cups is reversed, her emotions are out of whack. This could mean that she's lost touch with them altogether and has become cruel, manipulative, and callous. Alternatively, this card could represent someone who has allowed their emotions to get the better of them and has lost touch with logic and reason. Make sure you're using both your head and your heart to regain a healthy perspective. All right, so cruel, manipulative, and callous. I don't know that I attribute those to the Queen of Cups. Maybe manipulative, maybe even cruel, but not callous. I don't find them to be callous. I would see the Queen of Swords more callous than I would see the Queen of Cups. I just don't. I don't think the Queen of Cups can be callous. The water smooths things. It doesn't calcify them. I don't know. Maybe it does. All right. Let's see. What's the Knight of Cups? Our Knight of Cups, Peg Leg Peter. So he's coming forward on his steed. I've always thought of this as the cup of love, right? He's bringing forth his cup of love. He's got to cross a river in order to do it. This guy's already on the river. He's on the boat. I mean, this is like Prince Charming, right? Who's coming towards you. Let's see what it says here. Upright, the knight, Peg Leg Peter. The Knight of Cups represents someone dashing and charming who seems like they stepped right out of a fairy tale. Like this swashbuckling peg-leg Peter, inspiration and beauty are all around you now. Don't hold back. Pursue your passions with all the wild abandon of adventurous peg-leg Peter as he sails the high seas. All right. Love and adventure is the Knight of Cups for me. In the reverse, if reverse, the Knight of Cups is as dejected, moody, and brooding as poor peg-leg Peter. When the treasure map leads to an empty wood box, don't let yourself sulk for too long. Disappointment is part of the game. Get back on your ship and set sail for a new adventure with fresh potential. Alrighty. And then we've got the Page of Cups is Barnacle Bill. And I always think of the Page of Cups as being like an emotionally empathetic child. So it says, upright, a creative new idea has been sloshing around in your head. You're almost ready to come out with it and dive into a new venture that has the potential to make a great big splash. The Page of Cups represents exciting new opportunities. Allow yourself to daydream and imagine all the possibilities because this will help you solidify your goals and plans. In the reverse, the Page of Cups is childish, naive, and a little selfish. This person thinks they have all the answers, but their naivety shows when it becomes clear that they're actually a fish out of water. Being confident is one thing, but no one likes a know-it-all. Rein in your ego and be willing to listen and learn from others. All right, moving on to the Ace of Cups. Leaky Lou. All right, so for the Ace of Cups, I always traditionally kind of just my one-word definition is new love. So it could be new love of anything, but new love is just my keyword that I use to kind of get myself started on the story that's playing out in front of me with the cards. So in the Garbage Pail Kids deck, Ace of Cups is Leaky Lou. And look at that, he's leaking through his arm and everything. Like Leaky Lou and his chalice, you're spilling over with creativity. You're filled to the brim with inspiration and ready to begin an exciting new adventure that allows you to let your creative juices flow. Sometimes this card can indicate that a new close friendship or relationship will soon blossom. Be sure to keep your eyes, mind, and heart open. In the reverse, I just do like the complete opposite for this meaning, which is No new love. That's it. In the Garbage Pail Kids, it says the reverse. The Ace of Cups suggests that you're letting self-doubt get in your own way. You have a lot of dreams and ideas, but may be lacking the confidence to try to bring them to life. You're overflowing with creativity. Don't bottle up your feelings or creativity. Your ideas are valuable, so it's time to hold your head up high and share them with the world. I guess I'd never really thought of I've never really thought of water or cups as creativity, and the definition that they're giving in the deck gives me an impression of like the Empress type of creativity, which does come from an emotional place. So I think what I'm going to take with me just from just the Ace of Cups is that cups can also represent creativity. I've always kind of felt like the fire signs, the wands, was more of a creativity sign, but that's more of a passion sign, more of like the momentum and the energy behind the creativity. I think when both exist, then you know, are kind of like unstoppable. But I didn't really think of, I really like the use of the word creative juices. So that's it. Taking this away as potentially as a self-doubt card is also very valuable for me in reading this book. So yeah, I think, but overall this deck is kind of interpreting at least water as creativity, not just love, but creativity and emotion. I mean, emotion and creativity, but okay. Two of Cups, tidy knot. I love it. Tidy knot. And these two people, I didn't really compare. They're about the same for the Ace of Cups. So for the Two of Cups, this has always been a marriage card, a union card, a soulmate card. All right, so let's see what the book says. The background is blue is yellow instead of blue. This is more happiness for me. I don't remember what the blue is. I'll have to look it up, but for the Rider Waite deck. But in any case, the Two of Cups, to me has always been kind of like union, true love, soulmate kind of card. We've got this. This is a representation of another angel, and I don't remember the name of the angel. I want to say Metatron, but I could be wrong. I don't know. For some reason Metatron is like somebody somewhere I read or heard Metatron is like the most important one. It's the one you kind of pray to all the time. It's there to help you. But I see that the angel is very similar between the two cards. There's a whole lot of dual flowers kind of going on here. You've got the pink and the purple kind of lining around the two of them. The snakes are coming out of the cups through their heads, almost like sewing them together. So definitely a union card. She's in a wedding dress. You can only assume, I can only assume that he is a groom. The way that they have, there's interesting to me that there's no hearts in this. But if those flowers were hearts, I'd be like, this is like lovebirds. Like, I feel like with the wings and everything else, I'm just like, they're lovebirds. But all right, let's see what Garbage Pail Kids says. Upright, this card symbolizes happy relationships, nurturing friendships, and being perfectly intertwined with someone else like tidy knot. Things are going smoothly, and you're enjoying calm, stable connections to others. Sometimes this card represents a union, such as a marriage or a new relationship. So, in the reverse, it says, are you feeling a little out of sync with someone close to you? Reversed, this card suggests that a relationship, friendship, or close personal connection in your life has hit rough waters. You have a choice to make. Will you put in the work to getting this connection back on track, or is it time for you to part ways? Ultimately, only you can decide. So, what I like about the Garbage Pail deck as well is 2 always represents a choice, right? A choice in partnerships. You have a choice in partnerships. a choice in who you marry, what kind of a union. But typically this is a new partnership. What I recognize that they've done for the meaning in this card is in the reverse that they're saying it is a choice. And I like that for the number 2 because 2s always do mean choice. Choice of love, choice of creative endeavors, choice of passion, a choice of where you place your energy, a choice where you put your thinking, or what choice you need to make logically, what choices you need to make financially or with your material resources. So I really do like 2, an interpretation of 2 in the reverse as being a choice. So I'm just going to take that away from this card for sure, is that in the reverse that the 2 of Cups is a choice. Okay. I just want to make sure the choice for this, though, in the reverse for this is, will you put the work to getting this connection back on track, or is it time for you to part ways? Ultimately, only you can decide. All right, now we're moving on to the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups to me has always been celebration, happy family, party. All right, let's see what something to celebrate. All right, so this is Sharon. Upright, this card represents collaboration, celebration, and in the case of Sharon, perhaps an unusual level of closeness. Now is the time to get together with friends and to enjoy life, be social, and show the people closest to you how much you appreciate them. Life is better when your positivity and good fortune are shared with other people. Reversed, you fit in and feel like part of the group, but something is just not clicking. If you're not connecting with people, don't stress about it. Take a lesson from the Garbage Pail Kids and just be yourself, mess and all. You'll find your own crew and rad rascals soon, and they'll appreciate you just as you are, oddities and all. All right, so this kind of feels like not fitting in. Interesting. I'll probably take that away with me. The reverse meaning is not fitting in. I like that. 4 of Cups for me is just bored, lack of inspiration, tired of the same old thing, looking for new ideas. That's kind of what I think of here. And let's see what they say. For the 4 of Cups is, what is this? Milton. Oh, this can be like wasted or squandered opportunities as well. All right, so it says you're being offered a lot of opportunities right now, and this card's advice is to consider them all carefully before acting. Don't get hot under the collar and make decisions impulsively. Take some time to remove yourself from the situation and stew on it. Will give you the clarity you need to avoid becoming a messy puddle of regret later. Interesting. Interesting. So they've taken kind of the way of more of this is a contemplative card, which for me it is. It's meditation, contemplation. So I do kind of feel like this is for this deck. It's more of just take some time to remove yourself from the situation and think about it, to find clarity. So I do feel like they're using this as a meditation card. All right, so in the reverse, the card shows that you're feeling as misunderstood and grumpy as Milton. You'd rather be left alone to sulk under a tree than spend time with friends and family. Give yourself permission to grumble for a bit, but make sure you don't get lost in your own sourness. There are lots of opportunities still waiting out there for you, and you won't find them by being gloomy. Interesting. So Five of Cups. And this is Toxic West and Bony Joni. And 5 of Cups, like here, I've always looked at, this is, he's looking at what he's lost rather than what he has. And the Bony Joni is like embracing what she has and is like totally fine with what's going down the river. Like, that's what it looks like to me. Let's see what it says here. In the upright, it says a friendship, relationship, or situation that you are emotionally invested in has become a toxic mess. Something Bony Joni and Toxic West know all about. You're feeling discouraged and disappointed by this unexpected, messy turn of events. It's time to remove yourself from this poisonous scenario. Fresh air and new start await you. Wow, what a different take on this card. This is a toxic way of being, looking at what you've lost, what has been lost versus what you have. And she is just like letting it go, just about letting it go. So I like that. I like I feel like this has taken on the reverse meaning of this. So the upright actual picture of this card is taken on the reverse meaning of this, which is moving on and letting go. This in the reverse for this card, it says it represents self-depreciation and remorse. You feel like you've really made a mess of things rather than dwelling on a toxic sea of regret. Try to fix your mistakes. So yeah, to me, he's dwelling on regret in the upright. So I really feel like the author and the artist switched the meaning of this card so that this is more that the reverse matches the upright of the Rider Waite more so than the upright. Okay, so it says this card represents self-deprecation and remorse. You feel like you've really made a mess of things. Rather than dwelling in a toxic sea of regret, try to fix your mistakes and learn from them. Whether these heavy feelings are the result of an accident or error in judgment, it's important that you make things right and forgive yourself. All right. So I might take with forgive yourself with me, because as an outcome card, if you have this as an outcome card, I would definitely look at it as being forgive yourself. All right, so we've got Six of Cups. To me, this is a nostalgia card. It's remembering nice memories, good old days, childhood memories oftentimes. So this one, it says overflow, barfy Barbies. All right, so overflow is this guy here, and this is barfy Barbies. Upright, this card represents happiness, innocence, and nostalgia. You're longing for a time gone by when you were as cheerful, unburdened, and easily amused as overflow and barfy Barbies. Make time in your busy schedule to reconnect with your inner child by doing something silly and fun. In the reverse, when reversed, the nostalgic theme of the upright Six of Cups becomes all-consuming. While remembering happy memories and reconnecting with old friends can be fun, don't become stuck in the past. It's easy to romanticize times gone by, and this card suggests you might be doing just that. Get your head out of the past and enjoy yourself in the present. So in the reverse, I would just say, I would take with me that this is kind of like mindfulness, being mindful of the present. If it was next to the devil, I'd be like, you're escaping to the past. You're not living in the present. Let's see. So Six of Cups, I'm just trying to see here. I do feel like there's like a level of sharing here. He's like passing this to her. We've got all the four cups out here like this. So we've got the one that's, how is that one connected up there? It's just connected by snot. But the two figures, I'm just trying to see, like the colors are not the same. We've got rainbow patterns for the cups, which is just a theme for this deck, I think. So the only real consistency are the number of cups, the placement of the cups actually, that are very similar as well on the cards. how we've got these four kind of like lined up. So there's a history of good memories and the addition of a new one and ones to be made, kind of is kind of how I look at that card. Yeah, so I'd say just like kind of the tilt in the characters, and the positioning of the cups are the only similarities. The colors, not so much. All right, then we move into Seven of Cups, all of our wishes. These are all of our wishes right here. He's got his wishes in a circle versus here. But I always think of those as your hopes and your dreams. Upright, this is the Seven of Cups is TV Stevie. And upright, you're feeling dazed by all the glittering, exciting opportunities in front of you. You have so many options to choose from, and each seems better than the last. Be careful to keep your wits about you when making decisions, because life isn't a movie. When things seem too good to be true, they usually are. In the reverse, this card shows that you're dealing with option paralysis. You have a lot of opportunities in front of you and are experiencing major trouble with decision making. You'll feel less overwhelmed if you step back from this decision to gather your thoughts and check in with yourself. So, sorry, that was in the reverse. So I feel like this is lots of options, lots of opportunities, lots of wishes, right? And sometimes you kind of have to make a decision to like make a choice on the thing that you're choose one so that you can have at least the one, right? You can't put all of your energy in all those different places and then think that all of your cups are going to get filled. That's not to say that it can't happen, but typically you have to start with one and work your way around to the others. Just saying. That's why it's kind of like wishes. I wish I'd win the lottery and then I'd have jewels and I'd have, I'd change and I would discover the mysteries of the world. I'd be the most intelligent person. I'd live in a castle. I'd have all these riches. So I'd have these habits or what have you. So yeah, I just kind of feel like this is wish fulfillment. And then in the reverse, I kind of like this as an option paralysis, like too many options, too many things to choose from, diverting your energies. You can't make all of your wishes come true if you've got too many wishes. You know, if you want $5,000 worth of tarot cards and you only have $20, guess what? You get one deck, not all of them. You got to choose. That's just, you know, math. One or none. Okay. So this is TV Stevie. And that was the Seven of Cups. All right. Eight of Cups. All right. So we've got the same number. The cups in this one is like, to me, it looks like dew on, it kind of looks like just like morning dew, but there's like faces inside, and then you see this like butterfly coming out. So it's like, okay, this is a chrysalis, right? So maybe an idea that's been forming for a long time that can be kind of like followed. See, I've always kind of looked at this as he's walking away. He's got all of his ducks in a row. He's got everything stacked. He's accomplished all the things that he set out to do, and he's going to go journey on to do something more. These things are always here for him to come back to. It's kind of how I've always interpreted this particular card, but it is a walking away from what you've known to try to go on a new adventure. And this one, I love the imagery of this one, because it's like you have all of these ideas and things that you're nurturing, but you're going for one in particular. You're going allow one to bloom, to become, to go out and you know, and have that adventure. So let's see what it says here. It says, Mothy Martha, you're fed up and ready to make like Mothy Martha and fly away from a complicated and confusing situation. Often this card is referring to a relationship, friendship, or family dynamic. No progress is being made, and you're ready to fly off in search of a more peaceful environment. In the reverse, you're at odds with someone you were once close with, and things have reached a breaking point. You've tried to work things out and restore harmony, but it's just not working out. The time has come for you to decide whether putting your energy into fixing this productive, or if putting your energy into this is productive or worth the effort. Sometimes people go through mothy metamorphosis and grow apart. So I think metamorphosis is a good word to add to my repertoire for the metamorphosis is a good word to add to my definition for the Eight of Cups for me. And we've got the Nine of Cups, and this is all right, Nine of Cups is Buggy Betty. I've always kind of looked at this as like all your wishes have been fulfilled, essentially. So you've got everything under control. All your emotions are under control. You're like king of your castle, kind of, sort of like you got all your ducks in a row. All right, so upright, like Buggy Betty, hovering happily over atop a smelly pile of rotten waste. And you can see she's hovering above, whereas he is sitting in this, and is surrounded by all the things that he loves and wants. She is like rising. She's rising above it. The first time I saw this card, my immediate thought was the Nine of Cups is like where he's got everything, she's just a hoarder. That's a hoarder right there. I don't know what to get rid of. Okay, so your dreams are finally coming true. I do see this as being a wish fulfillment card as well. This card represents fulfillment, happiness, and success. Congratulations, you're feeling content, satisfied, and grateful for all of the good things in your life right now. Enjoy the moment. In the reverse, I almost feel like you're down on yourself. You're really down on yourself. Like you're not grateful for what you have. When reversed, the Nine of Cups shows you're not feeling fulfilled. It could be that you're measuring your success by other people's ideas of it. Be yourself. Do you think most people dream of finding a small, stinky mountain of garbage to enjoy like Buggy Betty? No, but what matters is that it makes her happy. Take her example and pursue whatever wonderful, weird thing makes you truly happy. All right, and now we go to the Ten of Cups. Wishin' Willie and Rainbow Rita. To me, this is a fully just a happy family card. Is how I view this card, is just very happy family. This is just so funny because they're so happy they're shooting rainbows out their ass. I mean, that's funny. I love that. I love that so much. But yeah, Ten of Cups, happy family. It's almost like you have a young family. Everything is working out in your favor. Like you got your house, you got your kids, like everybody's on the soccer team. Like you're having the American kind of dream, kind of happy family happening. But the Ten of Cups represents harmony, happiness, and personal fulfillment. The clouds have parted, the sun is shining, and rainbows have appeared. Clearly out your ass. You're feeling supported by the wacky weirdos closest to you and are grateful for their friendship. Let them know. Get together with your friends and enjoy the positivity. Really, I really do like the meaning, or the book definition for this card as well. So in the reverse, I would almost feel like this is a dysfunctional family is what I would think of in the verse. When flipped, this tarot card suggests that you're feeling out of sync with the people in your life. Whether this refers to friends, co-workers, or family, you're just not jiving with them. Don't conform to their stuffy expectations. Express yourself and do your own thing, even if others disapprove. Sometimes it's best to be your wonderful, weird self, like Wishing Willie and Rainbow Rita. If you stay true to who you really are, you'll attract the crew you're meant to be with. King of Coins, Pat of Gold. Upright, the King of Coins is a successful, wealthy patriarch who built his empire on stable foundations. Though this person seems as lucky as Pat of Gold, he creates a legacy of success through his own hard work and determination. This tarot card advises you to focus on preparing for the future when dealing with matters of home, careers, or finances. Reversed, the King of Coins tarot card denotes problems managing money. Whether you've become so obsessed with hoarding the gold at the end of the rainbow that it's negatively affecting other areas of your life, or you're spending with the wild abandon to your detriment. This tarot card warns you to make changes to the way you view and manage your wealth. Another person's insight can be valuable, so hear them out. Now we have Witch and Wendy, who I just think this card looks like she is brewing up some money. Like there's money coming out, like she's just brewing up money and resources. All right, so the upright Queen of Coins, Weird Wendy. The Queen of Coins is someone who like Weird Wendy, is skilled at concocting the life she wants. She pursues her dreams with determination and focus and brews her own success. This tarot card suggests that you're balancing career and financial obligations with your home and family life now. Keep up the great work. Reversed, are you spending too much time toiling away over hot cauldron? Reversed, the Queen of Coins represents an imbalance between work and home life. Re-examine how you spend your time to make sure you're prioritizing the things that really mean the most to you. If there are any tasks that can be delegated to your cronies, now is the time to do so. You really don't have to do everything on your own. Knight of Coins. Horsey Henry. Upright, the Knight of Coins represents someone with the dedication and steadfast determination of a workhorse. Like Horsey Henry, this card advises you to put real momentum behind your goals. It's time to get things done. Hard work now will have great payoffs later. Don't let buzzing distractions get in your way. Stay focused and you'll be rewarded for your effort. In the reverse, when reversed, the determination of the Knight of Coins turns to listlessness and laziness. Don't spend all your time moping around and grazing in smelly green pastures. It's time to rein yourself in. Exercise some self-control and set yourself up for success by working hard. Giddy up. Page of Coins, Vendomat. Vendomat. Upright, the Page of Coins is an inexperienced but enthusiastic worker, eager to learn new skills that will set them up for future success. This tarot card represents the beginning of a potentially lucrative project or career. You're full of inspiration for money-making ventures. Keep your eyes open for any golden opportunities that may present themselves to you and make sure to record your ideas. They may soon evolve into important goals. Reversed, the Page of Coins becomes dejected because a project that they had high hopes for just didn't turn out as planned. This failure may have been caused by a lack of experience. Don't stay glum for long. Everyone makes mistakes. Rather than staying discouraged, learn from the setback so you can approach your next venture wiser than you were before. The Ace of Coins. New money. Ancient Annie. You're never too old to start a new project, even if you're as long in the tooth as Ancient Annie. Long in the tooth? What? Okay. You're never too old to start a new project, even if you're as long in the tooth as Ancient Annie, okay? The Ace of Coins represents the beginning stages of a venture that has major money-making potential. This could refer to new job, investment, or business partnership that could take you to new heights. Keep your eyes open for your golden opportunity. In the reverse, the Ace of Coins warns that money-making venture you're either planning or currently working on is headed for failure. Reevaluate your strategy, take a closer look at all the details, and iron out the wrinkles to get things back on track. All right, now we do the Two of Coins, which is Luke Puke. Oh, yuck. There we go. All right, so Luke Puke. Ew, he's in a sea of like grossness. Okay. Upright, this card represents the ultimate work-life balance. You've got a lot on your plate, but you're handling it pretty gracefully, unlike poor Luke Puke, who has overindulged and made himself sick. It can be hard to find time for everything that's important to you. Just make sure you remember to prioritize yourself too, while you're out there juggling all of your responsibilities. Reversed, this card shows that you are struggling to maintain a healthy work-life balance. Stress is overwhelming you so much that you may be feeling sick as Luke Puke. Be careful not to get so bogged down in the work that you lose sight of your other priorities. Three of Coins. I do like the way that this book and this deck is organized because it does go from Earth. Let's see, it goes Earth to Air. Wait. Well, I thought I went to water first. I think it's supposed to be water, earth, air. I don't know. Oh yeah, water, earth, air, and then fire. Kind of like the higher thing, like I guess earth sits in water and then air is above the earth and fire goes even further above, I guess, with its smoke. Okay, so the Three of Coins, Julius Sneezer. Right. Friends, rascals, ruffians, lend me your tissues. Asking for help from others is the best way to get what you want now. No one can do everything by themselves 100% of the time. Sometimes collaboration is necessary. Embrace the advice and expertise of others. Reversed, this card suggests that there's a serious imbalance or unhealthy dynamic within a group. Because this is a coins card, this group is likely a team project dealing with finances, investments, or your career. If you feel like this collaboration isn't working out or that you're not being respected or heard, don't be afraid to walk away. And we've got the Four of Coins, which is Junk Food John. Upright, now is the time to be careful about how you're spending money. Take a look at your incoming and outgoing cash and make sure that you're spending it in ways that set you up for success. Managing resources takes tact and planning. Don't become too miserly, but don't spend recklessly either. Moderation and balance are what it's all about. I have to say, this definitely feels like a weight gain, hand-to-mouth disease kind of thing. It's something I experienced, so I'm not criticizing or shaming anyone. But I feel like if I were to get this card with the Temperance card or the Devil card or both, I might think, or even any kind of major Arcana card next to it, I almost feel like I would really recognize it as like poor eating habits, I guess, on some level. But food is physical. It's in the physical world. It's something that we need physically. So it is resources. It's not just, money is resources, sure, but anything in the physical, things, all things, to me are pentacles anyways. All right, so in the reverse, this card shows you're becoming as impulsive and self-sabotaging as the gluttonous junk food John. Okay, so what I just described, actually, even if I saw this in the upright next to the Devil and the Temperance card, I would totally be like, watch your diet. It would just be like something I might say. But in the reverse here, and I feel like I'm reading the reverse, I feel like the picture associates more with the reverse meaning for many of these cards, rather than the upright meaning. And it's going to be something, not a challenge, but like something I have to remember when I'm working with this deck, that I may need to read the reverse. I just feel like I might need to read this deck in that when this is in the reverse, it means the upright, and this means the reversed actual meaning, because this picture describes the reverse for me. Okay. So anyways, this card shows that you're becoming as impulsive and self-sabotaging as the gluttonous junk food John. You're spending money recklessly and it's hurting your bottom line. Instant gratification can be fun, but be careful not to indulge so much that it becomes a problem. All right. Moving on to the 5 of Coins. J. Decay. Scary Carrie. Upright, your finances are looking as frightful as Scary Carrie. This card represents a lack of material wealth and sometimes instability at home. You're feeling discouraged and desperate, but know that this is only a short-term situation. Financial stability lies ahead. Don't be afraid to accept help when you're offered it. And in the reverse, this card means... this card shows that you're coming out of financial hardship or finally achieving stability and comfort at home. Things are turning around for you and looking up. Remember those who helped you when you needed them most and pay the favor forward. All right, we're moving on to the 6 of Coins. Wrinkled Rita and Ashley Can. And I always think of this as a giving and receiving card, right? Sharing. Upright. It's taken you a long time to reach the level of comfort and success that you're enjoying, but don't forget the struggles you endured along the way and those who helped you when you needed it. Like Wrinkled Rita, you're living the high life and have everything you need to be comfortable and then some. This tarot card encourages you to share the wealth and help others. Your generosity will be so appreciated. Reversed, the generous theme of this card should be internalized. It's okay to splurge on yourself every now and then. You've worked so hard. Indulge yourself in something that will make you happy, whether that's diamond rings and fancy poodles like Wrinkled Rita or something a little less flamboyant. You've earned a treat. And I was just thinking to myself, if I got this card with the 4 of Coins, right? I would be like, maybe you're overindulging in buying things for yourself, right? The 4 of Coins with the 6 of Coins, the Devil, maybe even Temperance. I would definitely think about how much am I actually splurging on myself, particularly if I've been doing it a while, you know what I mean? Anyways, which I seem to do all the time with tarot cards. Nobody judge. This is a no judge zone. All right, here we go. 7 of Coins. We've got Seedy Sydney. Upright, you must plant seeds and tend to them before you can reap your rewards. Something Seedy Sydney is a pro at. This tarot card advises you to plan for the future. Instant gratification might be tempting, but setting yourself up for the long haul is so much more important. Okay, and in the reverse, you've been working so hard, but just aren't seeing the results you expected. Just as growing crops requires the perfect blend of water, sunlight, balanced soil, and care, there are so many factors that can influence a great outcome. This current lack of success likely isn't your fault. Change gears and move on to something new. Then we go, the 8 of Coins. Upright. Do you really think that New Wave Dave became such a sick graffiti artist overnight? Take his example and realize that practice makes perfect. Don't expect to be amazing at something the first time you try it. You'll master your craft if you stay focused and keep working hard. In the reverse, this tarot card symbolizes perfectionism to the point where it becomes unhealthy. You're so focused on micromanaging the details that you've lost sight of the bigger picture. Chill out, dude. Demanding so much control will only stress you out and lead to disappointment. 9 of Coins. Beaky Becky. She looks like she's a vulture. Beaky Becky looks like the queen vulture right here. And I know that crows like shiny things. I don't know if vultures do, but the coins all around her, I'm kind of like, oh, I wonder if she likes shiny things. But also I know that, she's a boss right here. She's living in her abundance. She's taking care of herself. She's enough to throw parties. She's bossing up. She's in her element right now. So I imagine, she is the queen right here. I'm like the queen vulture. She's got it all. She's rich. All right, this card represents material comfort, abundance, and luxury. You have everything you've ever wanted in life from a financial and material perspective. This card is often a sign that a financial or work-related pursuit in your life is ultimately going to be very successful. Reversed, when reversed, this card suggests that you're struggling with your self-worth. You may be undervaluing. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I never thought of it as self-worth. Like, this is your worth. And this is struggling with your self-worth. Interesting, interesting. Okay. I really like, I think the reverse meanings very much in this book. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so in the reverse, you're struggling with self-worth. You may be undervaluing your skills, but not asking for a promotion or better pay. Don't leave yourself out to dry like Beaky Becky. Throw yourself a bone and realize that you're valuable and worthy of better compensation for your hard work. So I really think that this is an excellent deck to kind of learn the reversals, because the pictures in here really remind me of the reversal meanings. And I love that it takes an introspective approach, which is super important, I think, when you're reading tarot, because this is about the hero's journey, and the most important story is your own. And when you relate to each of these cards, and each of these cards has a feeling or emotion or a story, so that when you're laying out the cards for another person, you're actually just telling your own story, and the things that pop into mind about your own story. That's kind of how I seem to relate the messages to the people I read cards for. I just find that a lot of what you're coming up with, it just comes from your own story, and we all have so much in common. We have so much more in common in terms of feelings than we don't. Anyway, moving on. 10 of Coins, Rock and Robert, Ada, and Atom Bomb. All right. Upright, you've reached the end of a long journey and are now enjoying all the stability and comfort that you've worked so hard to acquire. Often this card represents family legacies and traditions. You've set yourself and your family up for continued success. It's time to pull up a comfy rocking chair, relax, and enjoy the fruits of all your effort. You've made it. In the reverse, this card shows that you're struggling with complicated feelings about your wealth. Sometimes this card suggests that you've acquired a lot of it at one point, then suddenly lost it and are full of regrets. Other times it shows that you've reached a place of abundance, but at the expense of personal connections and other important aspects of your life. Take a seat, relax, reflect, and figure out what you need to feel fulfilled at this point in your life. All right. King of Swords. Mick Dagger. Upright, the King of Swords represents an authority figure who is known for taking calculated risks, like the knife-wielding Mick Dagger. Full of cool swagger, the King of Swords plays his cards close to his chest, but is just as respected as he is feared. This card advises you to stay cool and collected. Now is the time to make decisions using logic rather than emotions. And in the reverse, when reversed, the King of Swords indicates that there is a major imbalance of power going on. It could be that you're feeling powerless and bulldozed by a ruthless authority figure. Other times, this card indicates that you're allowing your power to go to your head. Remember, your words can cut like Mick Daggers. Consider your words carefully before letting them fly. Queen of Swords, Levitate. Upright, the Queen of Swords is respected, revered leader who has accomplished great things, witty and level-headed. She knows what she wants and doesn't relent until she reaches her goals. Speak your mind, stay true to your vision, and success will naturally follow. In the reverse, it's time to bring your big head back down to earth, reversed. The Queen of Swords shows you've become so focused on your goals that you've lost sight of the big picture. Standing your ground and giving it all you've got is one thing, but when that determination turns to tunnel vision and Machiavellian tactics, you've got a problem on your hands. And And we've got the Knight of Swords, which is Mad Mike. Upright, the Knight of Swords puts real action and momentum behind their goals. This card is a sign to change boldly in the direction of your dreams with the determination and might of Mad Mike. Now is the time to make your move, particularly when it comes to communication and revealing your grand ideas. You've been brainstorming and planning for a while now. The world is ready to hear what you have to say. Reversed, the Knight of Swords suggests you might be acting too impulsively in ways that are sabotaging your own success. Your determination and ferocity are admirable, but your current situation requires a little more thought and tact. Resist the urge to burn bridges and find healthier ways to channel your ambition. The Page of Swords. Greaser Greg. Upright, the Page of Swords represents an inquisitive person who always wants to know what makes things tick. Blessed or cursed, depending on who you ask, with the gift of gab, they're vocal about their curiosity and ideas and present them as confidently as Greaser Greg presents his knives. This card advises you to learn all you can, soak up knowledge from those around you so you can bring your great ideas to fruition in the future. In the reverse, the Page of Swords has trouble speaking up. If you're struggling with self-confidence, remember what it is that makes you you. You're a visionary person full of innovative ideas that have real potential. Walk tall and hold your head high like Greaser Greg to muster the courage to express yourself. Sometimes you really do have to fake it till you make it. And we go to the Ace of Swords. And we have Diced Bryce. The Ace of Swords represents an important, sudden epiphany, like a sword slicing through a mental fog. Things are finally clicking and you're getting clarity on a whole new level. This is also a great time for brainstorming new ideas. Your mind is firing on all cylinders right now. Make the most of it. Reversed, listless and foggy-brained, you're having trouble focusing and finding direction. Reversed, this card represents confusion and uncertainty. Getting clarity should be your focus now, and you might have to seek out new perspectives to do so. Two of Swords. Armpit Brit. Upright, this card represents a tough choice to be made. You're under a lot of pressure and unsure what to do from here. Weigh your options carefully and don't make any decisions impulsively. If you take your time, you'll come to a conclusion that's right for you, just as Armpit Brit did when she decided to go au naturel. In the reversed, like two equally powerful swords clashing in the air, you've reached a standstill. You're being presented with several paths, but none of them seem to have ideal outcomes. Compromise is called for when there's no clear decision to be made. Just do the best you can with the information you have. Oh, somehow we got... There we go. Three of Swords, Heartbreak Harvey. Upright, you're feeling as though you've been stabbed in the heart like poor Heartbreak Harvey. This tarot card represents heartache, betrayal, and painful twists of fate. Remember that the pain won't last forever, even though it seems like it will in the moment. Take care of yourself and focus on healing from this upheaval. Reversed, a major emotional upheaval has rocked your world. But the Three of Swords, when reversed, shows that you're healing. The swords are falling out of your heart and you're on the mend. It takes time to get closure and move on from heartbreak. Be patient with yourself and trust that you're well on your way to feeling better. Four of Swords, Nasty Nick. Move this back into screen a little better. There we go. There's Nasty Nick. Upright, like Nasty Nick, taking a break from dastardly deeds to repose his... Good grief. Like Nasty Nick, taking a break from dastardly deeds to repose in his spooky, spidery coffin. The Four of Swords card advises you to rest. You may have a bit of battle ahead of you, so now's the time to make sure you're well rested and ready for what's to come. In the reverse, this card shows that you're feeling exhausted and depleted. You don't have any more effort or energy left to give right now. Prioritize time to step away from stressful situations to relax and recharge. You can't be the best version of yourself if you're so tired that you're basically one of the walking dead. Five of Swords. Dice to Bryce. Five of Swords is the ultimate card of battles and conflict. Like Dice Bryce, you're giving it everything you've got. This situation has winners and losers. Make sure you'll come out on top by staying focused and tenacious. There's a time for compromise and retreat, but this isn't it. Reversed, you've been locked in a heated battle, but it's clear now that it's time to either concede or come to a compromise. Don't let your pride or ego get in the way of stopping an argument that really just needs to end. The Six of Swords, Crushed Shelley. Upright, this card represents mental growth and moves that lead to important changes in perspective. You're going through a transition that will open your eyes to a lot of new ideas and ways of thinking. Be open to change and, like a slimy snail, chugging along, keep moving forward at your own pace. Trust that this process will do a world of good in the end. Reversed, the time has come to make changes in your life and move on, but you're moving as sluggishly as Crushed Shelley. Delaying change isn't doing you any favors, and moving at a snail's pace is only dragging out this process. It's time to embrace a new pace. Seven of Swords. Oopsies. Chris Mess. Upright. Ne'er-do-well, Sanner imposter, Chris Mess. This card represents sneaky behavior and swindling. Keep your guard up and listen to your gut feelings about people, offers, and situations. If something doesn't feel right to you, stay vigilant because someone may be trying to trick you. In the reverse, there's no point in beating around the bush. Reversed, this card warns that you're lying to yourself deep down. You know the truth, but are trying to convince yourself otherwise. It's time to be honest and come to terms with what's really going on. Your bravery just may get you on Santa's nice list. Uh-oh. I'm really sorry I didn't turn this card. This is the 7 that goes with the Christmas. There we go. This is the sneaky guy. This is the cheater, the liar. All right. The swindler. All right. Now moving on to the 8 of Swords. And our negative thinking. Charlotte Webb. Upright, though you feel as hopelessly trapped as a bug stuck in a web, you actually have more power over your fate than you think you do. There are ways out of this sticky situation. Keep a level head and look around for the solution. It's closer than you expect. I always think of this card, too, is that your own negative thinking is getting in your way. Because she's got knives all around her. She can cut those binds. Do you know what I mean? They're loosely tied, too. And I almost feel like she knows exactly where she is. So she's just kind of like tying herself up, kind of. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, reversed, when this card, and I'm talking about this one, but here's Charlotte's one. Sorry. When reversed, this card shows that you're being your own worst enemy. That's how I feel about this card. You're being your own worst enemy. You're spinning a web of negativity and self-depreciation and becoming trapped in your own creation. You're powerful, capable, and brainy, so don't let anyone bully you into thinking otherwise, even yourself. That's right. Be your own best friend. So if you find yourself in a downward spiral of negative thinking, definitely pick up your affirmation decks and start, chanting them until you believe them. Because you can't say them without taking them on that energy on some level. So much of the world is made up by what you tell yourself. All right, let's go to the 9 of Swords. Oh, the anxious moments. These are temporary moments, oftentimes, of worry. Fear, worry, and anxiety have wormed their way into your brain. You may be dealing with nightmares and having trouble letting go of these stressful thoughts. Don't let them have so much power over you. Make de-stressing and restful relaxation in your priorities. If reversed, the fear and anxiety represented by the upright 9 of Swords have reached a whole new level of intensity. You may feel like all your thoughts are being infiltrated with negativity and worry. and it's detrimental to many areas of your life. Prioritize achieving mental balance and calm stability, because things aren't really as frightful as you think they are. And then we've got the 10 of Swords, pinned Lin. Upright, this tarot card represents a very painful, devastating loss, like the unfortunate pinned Lin. You feel like challenges are coming at you from all sides, whether this refers to the loss of a job, a dream, a project you were invested in, or an important personal connection. It's likely that this ending was sudden. Give yourself time to process what's happened and focus on healing your heart. In the reversed, the gut-wrenching ending represented by the upright 10 of Swords is being stalled. You know this can't go on forever, but you just can't seem to accept that things need to come to an end. Fresh, exciting opportunities and new beginnings await you. Make a clean break so that you can be free to embrace the future. Then we've got the King of Wands, Frian Ryan. All right, Frian Ryan. The King of Wands is an imaginative, inventive leader. Though he has the gift of gab and is known for being a great communicator, he is not afraid to unleash fire and brimstone to rival the fearsome Frian Ryans when his authority is challenged. This card advises you to trust your own perspective and stay committed to your vision for the future. You have the power of persuasion on your side. Use it to your advantage to accomplish your goals. Reversed, while the upright King of Wands is a great communicator and collaborator, when reversed, he becomes unwilling to listen to anyone else's input or opinions. Tunnel vision makes him a bit of a fire-breathing bully, as he'll stop at nothing to accomplish his goals, no matter the costs. If you're hyper-focused on a goal, step back to gain a better perspective. Another person's insight can be valuable, so hear them out. The Queen of Wands, or Waxy Wendy. Upright, the Queen of Wands is a showy, outgoing person who commands the attention of any room she's in, whether that's through her beauty or startling amount of earwax like Waxy Wendy. This card advises you to express yourself and put your personality on display. You're full of charm and ready to dazzle. Now is your time to shine. In the reverse, the Queen of Wands loses her trademark confidence when reversed. The Queen of Wands loses her trademark confidence when reversed. If you're feeling unsure of yourself, take a break from the hustle and bustle of socializing to get back in touch with yourself. Focus on self-care by journaling, taking a walk, or maybe cleaning the wax out of your ears. A bit of me time will have you feeling refreshed and ready to shine again in a jiffy. The Knight of Wands. Patty Putty. Upright, the Knight of Wands has the determination and relentless focus to get themselves out of any sticky situation. As adaptable as Patty Putty, they use their abundant creativity to get what they want. If you find yourself up against a challenge, this card advises you to pivot on the path as necessary, but to maintain your momentum. Reversed, when the Knight of Wands is reversed, it indicates that their ample energy isn't being well spent. Do you feel like you're working hard but not seeing the results that you expect? Take a look at how you're spending your time and where you're putting your effort. There may be ways that you can start streamlining your process to make better use of your energy and avoid overexerting yourself. Page of Wands is Potato Chip. Oh, he's going into the fire, or is he coming out of the ground? I can't tell. He's going into a desert. There's pyramids in the back here. I'm like, Egyptian potato chips is what I'm feeling right here. A lot of growth. Definitely rooted. Something with this lizard means something. I know it. It must be luck. I'll bet it's luck. Okay. Upright, the Page of Wands is a creative novice, as charming as Potato Chip. You're full of inspiration. Your adaptability creates all sorts of unique possibilities. You can be anything you want to be. A French fry, potato soup, potato pancakes. You can do anything and be anyone you want to be. Now is the time to let your imagination run wild. Your dreams will soon take root and sprout up into something tangible. Reversed, the Page of Wands, when reversed, suggests that you're dealing with disappointment. A creative idea that you're passionate about has hit some snags. Don't be too hard on yourself. Your inexperience may lead to missteps, but they're ultimately learning opportunities. Refine your plan and try again. Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, Lee Tree, upright. A powerful burst of creativity has come over you like a gift from the sky. You're feeling inspired, energetic, and full of innovative ideas. If you pursue your new goals with enthusiasm, there's no telling how far they'll take you. Your imagination is your greatest strength right now. Embrace it. In the reverse, Ace of Wands suggests you're having trouble finding a creative spark. You're feeling unfocused and a little lost. To get out of this slump, branch out and try new things. You'll find new passions and motivations in unexpected places. You just have to put yourself out there and look for them. That's in the reverse. Okay, then we've got oh goodness, I don't even know if I read this correctly in the upright. I'm going to read the upright because I just finished reading the reverse because I was interrupted. So I'm going to read Ace of Wands again. So I apologize. You can fast forward the minute it's going to take to do it. Okay, so Ace of Wands is Lee Tree. And in the upright, a powerful burst of creativity has come over you like a gift from the sky. You're feeling inspired, energetic, and full of innovative ideas. If you pursue your new goals with enthusiasm, there's no telling how far they'll take you. Your imagination is your greatest strength right now. Embrace it. In the reverse, Ace of Wands suggests that you're having trouble finding a creative spark. You're feeling unfocused and a little lost. To get out of this slump, branch out and try new things. You'll find new passions and motivations in unexpected places. You just have to put yourself out there and look for them. Two of Wands, Oliver Twisted. Upright, you'll soon be embarking on a new creative adventure, but are currently in the planning stage. Like Oliver Twisted, you have a few kinks to work out before you can make the most efficient progress. Make sure all your ducks and vertebrae are in a row before taking your first steps. Thorough preparation now will set you up for success. In the reverse, this tarot card reveals that you are holding yourself back. You're full to bursting with innovative ideas, but bringing them to fruition seems like such a difficult and distant goal that you're not putting any real action behind the idea. Trust that your visions are worth the effort and go for it. Three of Wands, Atom Bomb. Here we go. There's Atom Bomb. Ideas that'll blow your mind. I'm telling you, that's totally what this card makes me think of. Ideas to blow your mind. Upright, you're all fired up about your current goal and are now implementing a great and detailed plan to get there. Though you have a long way to go on this exciting journey, this tarot card shows that things are coming along nicely. You're making real progress in creating solid foundations that will allow your vision to grow, thrive, expand, and light up the world. In the reverse, when flipped, this card suggests that you're thinking small. You won't achieve excellence by settling for mediocrity. You have a wealth of explosive talent and creativity inside of you. It's time to think outside the box, dream big, and stop limiting your own success. Take the initiative to reach for more and trust in the raw power of your potential. Four of Wands. Upright, this card calls for a celebration. This is a great time to get together with the fiendish friends closest to you for a fun hangout session like Hangin' Harriet. Your friends have your back. Look back on everything you've accomplished and thank the people who helped you get to where you are today. In the reverse, this card indicates a shaky period, whether you're thinking of changing jobs, moving, or making a major pivot on a creative project. It's clear that you're on unsteady ground. Make a priority of stabilizing your foundations before focusing on anything else. There will be time to sort out the details when things are more settled. Five of Wands. Mugged Marcus. Upright, you're feeling as threatened as Mugged Marcus. Right now, whether you're locked in fierce competition with someone or someone's just outright trying to take what's yours, this card indicates that you're caught in conflict. Follow your gut feelings when sorting out this tricky situation and use your ingenuity to approach problem solving creatively. And I always look at this as a conflict card, right? Just people just arguing. And it's an exercise. Conflict to me is an exercise in problem solving, or coming to understanding. It's not like they're using swords, they're using sticks. And in this case, like sticks with like little flower thingies on them, little poofs on them. He's all bruised up and battered by it, though. Either way, conflict and arguments can certainly feel that way. All right, so let's reverse this. It says when this card is reversed, it shows that you're wrestling with yourself internally. Stop beating yourself up with that internal conflict already, man. You may be having a difficult time mulling over opposing ideas or having a difficult time finding the right words to express yourself. Get the facts and consider your options carefully, but know that following your intuition will ultimately lead to the best outcome. Six of Wands, Lee Tree. He's so victorious. Terrifically triumphant like Lee Tree. You are being celebrated for all your accomplishments. Congrats! Your tenacity and ingenuity are finally being recognized by others, and you're being rewarded for all your hard work. Soak up the sunshine and praise and bask in the glory of your success, and then get back to work. You're full of even more untapped potential waiting to be explored. In the reverse, insecurity is leading you to look for comfort and validation from all the wrong sources. Don't compromise your integrity and visionary perspective for the approval of others. Be yourself. Stay on your own course, even if others don't appreciate it yet. Keep doing your own thing, and you'll achieve success that will make you the envy of those who dared to not believe in you. That's right. You don't need validation from anyone else but your own self. All right. Seven of Wands, Cyclops. In the upright, whether from space aliens or a foe that's a little more down to earth, this card shows that you need to protect yourself. Someone is envious of you and trying to sabotage your success. Pay attention to your gut feelings. If someone gives you bad vibes, beware. Stand your ground. Protect your position and be willing to fight for what's rightfully yours. In the reverse, see, I've always kind of felt like this card means like keeping your competition at bay, but I really like this as standing your ground. I think that's awesome. With the Nine of Wands, it'd be like you have good boundaries is kind of what I would say. But anyways, in the reverse, you're under so much stress that you're just about willing to throw up your hands and surrender. You've been devoting a lot of your time and energy trying to meet really tough expectations, and the demands are finally starting to weigh you down. Reevaluate your goals. Is all of this really worth it? Maybe it's time to slow down and rethink how you define success. Then let's move on to the Eight of Wands. Hot Rod. Like lightning fast hot rod, things in your life are about to really speed up. You're entering a period of sudden changes and lots of momentum. Even if you feel like you're free falling and can't find the brakes, know that this will be a short-lived period for you. Things will slow down soon. Until then, just try to stay present and enjoy the ride. In the reverse, the momentum represented by the upright Eight of Wands is blocked. You've stalled. Often this card shows that you're the one hitting the brakes and standing in the way of your own progress. Change can make you apprehensive, and that's natural, but delaying this process is only dragging it out more. It's time to let go of your reservations and embrace a new pace. And we've got the Nine of Wands. Here's my good boundaries guy. My wounded warrior. Still there, protecting his wall. All right, the Nine of Wands. Alan Al. Upright, sometimes it feels like you're being dealt blow after blow, but somehow in the end, you always manage to come out on top. Courage and tenacity are assets that will carry you through the toughest challenges. Be proud of your own perseverance. You've been through so much, and you haven't lost your spark nor your gumption. That shows real power. In the reverse, you've been fighting a difficult battle and are coming up the worse for the wear. Rest assured that you're not defeated. Even if things seem dire and you're feeling as battered and bruised as poor Alan Al, reversed, this tarot card encourages you not to give up. even if all you want to do is throw in the towel. Muster your might and give it one last shot for the win. All right, and the last card, the 10 of Wands. These heavy burdens. And that one's like straight up kid burdens right there, right? The burden of family is all I see in that card. All those heads there. I'm like, all these people you got to think about. Okay, this is Manny Lenny. Manny Lenny. Upright, you're going through a busy, stressful period, though you feel like you're being pulled in all sorts of different directions. Ooh, yeah, that could totally mean like the many hats you wear if you're an entrepreneur. And even small companies, you know, you'll wear lots of hats, marketing and customer service and, I don't know, production. You'll do all kinds of stuff. In any case, okay, so you're going through a busy, stressful period. Though you feel like you're being pulled in all sorts of different directions, you're more than capable of keeping your head squarely on your shoulders, unlike Manny Lenny, and taking care of your responsibilities. Hard work will now have big payoffs for you later. Keep at it. In the reverse, so many different responsibilities and pursuits are commanding your energy and attention that you need as many heads as Manny Lenny to be able to attend to them all. You have way too much on your plate and need to disconnect for a while to get your head back on straight. Prioritize your tasks and delegate, ask for help, delegate, or prune any that are not essential. No one functions at their best level when they are overwhelmed. All right, and that is all of the cards. Now there's a couple of readings. I'm going to go ahead and read these. We'll just go ahead and read these out loud because I don't know that I've done it for any of the other decks yet, but let's see. One of the most exciting things about tarot reading, and probably one of the reasons why it's so popular, is that it can be personalized to suit your style. There are no rules, which suits the Garbage Pail Kids just fine. Use tarot intuitively in whatever way feels right to you. You can read tarot as often or infrequently as you like. Feel free to make it a sacred, ritualistic practice, or take out your deck casually for readings with friends. It's all up to you, and that's the real magic of it. Caring for your deck. Most tarot readers agree it's important to energetically cleanse your deck regularly, especially if you use it to read tarot for other people. Cleansing your deck leaves you with a clean slate, so your next tarot session will be fresh, clear, and unencumbered by the energies of previous readings. There are many methods that you can use to cleanse your tarot deck, so feel free to experiment with them to find the method that resonates with you. Smoke cleansing involves passing the tarot deck through the smoke of sacred smoldering herbs such as sage, lavender, or palo santo. Placing your deck in the moonlight overnight can cleanse and refresh your cards too. Many agree that the light of the full moon is the most powerful, but any moonlight will do the job. Another option is to use crystals. Selenite and black tourmaline make wonderful cleansing tools. Keep them on or around your deck when it's not in use to make sure it's ready for the next tarot reading. And that's what you kind of see on my own desk. There's lots of crystals everywhere. Oftentimes if I'm out and about, I have crystals in my travel pack. And I'll actually just take a crystal like this and hold it in my hand and hold it over the deck. And I'll just think of white light going through my body and through to the deck and just cleansing the deck. And I do that for like, I don't know, 10 seconds or however long I am kind of guided to do that. It also helps me quiet my inner thoughts and quiet into alignment so that I'm giving out the best messages that I can. All right, and I also use smoke. I cleanse my cards from time to time using sage or the Palo Alto. So preparing to read tarot. Every good tarot reading begins with a question. You can ask the cards anything and everything. What talent or skill do I need to hone and use more? How can I progress in my career? How can I prevent my plan from falling to pieces like cracked jack? Tarot can give you useful insight and advice about any situation you may find yourself in, no matter how sticky, icky, sappy, or grody. Begin tarot readings by relaxing and clearing your head. Meditate, take a relaxing bath, or just close your eyes for a few moments. When you're ready, ask your question and shuffle the tarot deck. Some people shuffle the cards like playing cards, while others use an overhand shuffle to avoid bending them. You can even spread them out face down on a large surface and rifle through them to select cards intuitively. When your question has been asked and your cards have been shuffled, it's time to draw cards and lay them out in a tarot spread. Tarot spreads are the specific ways in which cards are arranged as they are drawn. Here are a few spreads to help you get started. And the first spread, they actually have decent spreads in here. The first spread is Find Your Way with Potato Chip, and I do like this spread. Are you feeling a little lost, unsure of where to go from here? Are you overwhelmed with all the possibilities and options in front of you? Never fear. This tarot spread is here to help you find solid ground. Use this spread when you're unsure of your next steps and could use a little clarity to help you get where you want to go. This tarot card represents the nature of your predicament and why you're looking for guidance. This tarot card shows you where you need to focus your attention and energy in order to move forward. This tarot card offers, I'm just reading it and not doing the numbers. So number 1 is the nature of your predicament and why you're looking for guidance. Number 2 is you need to focus your where you need to focus your attention and energy to move forward. Number 3 is the advice to keep in mind when heading out on this new journey. 4 is something that could become an obstacle or a challenge along your new path. And number 5 represents where this journey will ultimately lead you. And it says brew success with Weird Wendy. Although you might not need to tend to a fiery cauldron, chant magic words, or partake in a putrid potion to manifest success like Weird Wendy, sometimes a little guidance can give you the clarity that you need to succeed. This tarot spread is designed to help you focus and structure a plan for achieving your ultimate ambition. However weird or wacky it might be, the spread offers advice, insight, and warnings to help you along the way. Get ready to mount your broomstick and fly off in the direction of your dreams. The first card, number 1, represents your goal. Number 2 reveals the strength or skill that you should rely on to reach your goal. That's number 2 up here. Sorry. 3 warns you about a challenge that you may encounter while trying to reach your goal. 4, this card reveals how to overcome the challenge represented in card 3. And number 5, the tarot card, this offers the final advice for you to keep in mind on your journey to success. And I think there's the last one. Oh, no, a little bit more. And then it says, get inspired with TV Stevie. Have you been running on autopilot? Are you feeling as dazed and zoned out as TV Stevie? This tarot spread is designed to reveal what's holding you back and how you can get out of this rut. New inspiration is waiting for you. You just have to know where to look. Soon you'll be feeling invigorated, motivated, and enthusiastic again. This tarot spread can help point you in the right direction. This card reveals why you're feeling stuck and uninspired. This card, that's number 1. Why you're feeling stuck and uninspired. Number 2 represents the nature of your next inspiration. Pay attention to the suit of this card and what it represents. Look back to the introduction if you need a refresher. So I think basically it's saying the nature of your inspiration. Is it going to be passion? Is it going to be something emotionally creative? Is it going to be something that's logical and intellectual? Is it going to be something that you do with your hands and the physical? Okay. Number 3 is what you stand to gain in the future if you decide to pursue a new inspiration, represented by card 2. And number 4, this card offers a final advice to keep in mind while pursuing your new passion. About the illustrator, Marion Kim is a painter, illustrator, and comic book artist whose numerous publishing clients include Marvel Comics, Absolute Vodka, Topps Company, Paper Cuts, IDW, and Editions Glenot. In addition to commercial artwork, Marion's personal paintings have been featured in group shows at the New Museum of Contemporary Art in New York City, the Museum of Cartoonists and Comic Book Art in New York City, Gallery Huberty Brain, Paris, and more. And you can find her at mirankim.com. That's MIRANKIM.com. And about the author, Minerva Cedral, who, this is what I really liked about this, is I think she did an excellent job in, I don't know if she wrote the book before the cards, but I'm pretty sure she saw the cards and then wrote the book, and I think she did an excellent job. She is the author of Tarot for Self-Care, How to Use Tarot to Manifest Your Best Self. She writes about tarot, witchcraft, and living with disabilities for print magazines and online publications. When not writing, she practices divination and drinks rose lattes in the Victorian house she shares with her husband and their rescue dogs. She's on Instagram at SpookyFatBabe. There we go. And that is the conclusion of the Garbage Pail Kids book reading. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Come back and watch it over and over and over again, because if these definitions resonate for you, this will be an easy way to just listen in the car and on your way to work and learn the definitions of any tarot deck that you have. You can use these definitions. That's why I always put this the original Rider Waite next to it, just to show you that you can use any card deck with these definitions, because these definitions are based on the original. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful, blessed day.